Is there a doctor in the house? Right, Bet?
Right here.
Hameen Media Group. Big Ray Hernandez. The Vet Jamie Williams. This is your Next Level Wrestling Review. And we are NXT.
All right, and good morning, good evening, good afternoon, or good night, whatever the fuck, whenever you're listening to this, ladies and gentlemen, this is your Next Level Wrestling Review, and I am the reporter of the people, the man on the plan, Big Ray, here to stay to talk some Lucha Libre, which is your smash lesson for wrestling today. And ladies and gentlemen, I am not alone. No, there are rumblings out there about Vince McMahon's NDAs and stuff, but have you ever been in an NDA on a pole match? No, you haven't. But the Vet has. And the Vet's won several of them. Who's the Vet? Well, I didn't say the NDAs were towards you, so you could have an NDA. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, the 14-time NDA on a pole match champion,
The Vet. He's a Rip Rogers guy. The Vet. Vet. Rip Rogers guy.
oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that's an NDA in the bank. That's what it is basically. So if you fuck with him, you get an NDA. You get an NDA. You get an NDA from the Rip Rogers guy. The Vet Jamie Williams. What's going on, Mr. Veteran?
Not much. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but
What?
let's move this thing right along.
Oh,
Now, Ray, I figured after the monumental, amazing show that we had last week with Mike Mondo, that we should keep this momentum rolling.
fuck yeah.
And just bring in just nothing but the top shelf guests. And I had somebody lined up that I knew everybody was going to love. But that fell through. So then I called this guy. Yes, this is the host of the Garden of Doom, the Hammerlock Hangover, and like 65 other weekly podcasts that appear on the PWC network. And even on our own Hameen Media Group, Rampage Uncaged. Ladies and gentlemen, the Doctor of Style, apparently, Dr. Jeff Lippman. Jeff, thank you for coming on with us this morning.
Thank you for having me. I'm glad I made the B list. That's great. I'm your Johnny Walker Black. You have Johnny Walker Blue, but that's just fine. Listen, after toiling on the indies for these last several years, I've occasionally gotten to the Performance Center. Now I'm finally leveling it up and made it to the big show.
All right, well, we're glad to have you. Ray, turn that damn music down. We can barely hear our lovely guest. Just dance in silence, please. All right. Well, today you guys are going to learn to work. All right?
What?
Yeah, you're going to learn to work because you just got your time cut. We don't have time for Ray to tell us how to make a watch when we ask what time it is. We've got a lot of stuff to cover today. So you're going to hear me as the ref giving you boys time cues. You get no entrance. You got to start the match off hot. And there's not going to be any time for any chin locks or any bullshit like that.
All right. Check this out. You want to see how I work? Here we go.
Yes, please.
Acknowledge me. Acknowledge me. You're going to acknowledge me. You there, sitting at home. Acknowledge me.
Everybody has been acknowledged. I'm kidding.
Yeah! Oh.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, in the chat right now, we have Mr. Yuck asking too many questions. Why is this music playing at the same time? Mr. Yuck asking a lot of questions. We have Jerome Hall. He's in the house. We have the Buckshot Kid. He's in the house. We have, oh yeah, the lovely Elizabeth. You won't send me cookies. Oh, no way. All right, next up we have who else is from fucking chat? We have Lab Rat. What are they testing on Lab Rat? AIDS, always AIDS. Scott Woodford is here. I would bring up his comment here, but the thing is, he's too handsome and he can't fucking keeps taken down. Media M5 is here, ladies and gentlemen. Media M5, he's fucking awesome and well hung. We have Dan Heffron, handsome Dan Heffron, yeah, 145 and 12. Who else we got here? We have a handsome Dan. I'm losing my breath. I think that's everybody so far, right?
I think so. Canada Spaceman? Canada Spaceman?
Canada Spaceman is here. He flies over Canada. Does he live in Canada or does he just hover over Canada? Nobody knows. But ladies and gentlemen, you know what time it is? It's time for the fucking 3 count.
This is the 3 count with today's biggest stories in pro wrestling, world news, pop culture, sports, and more. And now, back to Big Ray and the Vet.
All right, it's a 3 count. Frank's Pickleborough ass just jumped in late. Got to give him a shout out. He did the whole hand eye emoji thing. Seems like we're light. We have a light house tonight. So fortunately, you guys aren't getting paid. But you can pick up a hot dog and shake my hand.
Well, normally this would be the point of the show where you're saying, I'm the pundit of the people, 6 minutes in. So I think people are just kind of trickling in slowly. Yeah.
That was not easy, guys.
He made it look easy, though.
Yeah. Jeff.
Yes,
Dr.
sir.
Jeff Littman. Hey, did you know that Mia Yim is a cunt?
I did not know that Mia Yim was a cunt.
Apparently she is. So here's the deal. All right, and I'll go with Jeff first. In our first breaking story of the day, it's not news or rumor, Mia Yim deactivates her Twitter after fans criticized backstage photo of her and Austin Theory. Now, have you seen this alleged photo?
Yes, I have seen the photo, and I am aware that she did, in fact, delete her Twitter account.
All right, so we have a couple of let me see. I don't know if I can pull it up, but Vet, your thoughts on Mia Yim and what she's going to do after she loses her job next month?
She'll go back to doing whatever she did. I'll pass to Jeff, though, if you want to speak on this first while I think about it.
Do you want me to speak on what she's going to do in a month after she loses her job, or do you want me to speak on the photo and the blowback from the photo?
All of the above.
All of the above, and I'm going to try to get some tweets out here because Mia Yim actually, she goes on record, because people started talking about this shit, right? She goes on record and she starts saying that she's going to block everybody. I'm going to get that tweet up while you talk real quick, okay?
Okay. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the picture itself, it got the reaction you would expect on social media, but I also think the picture itself depends upon the relationship that her and Keith Lee have. I'm sure that they already have whatever understanding, and I don't mean understanding like they're swingers. I mean that if you're a close enough friend with someone and the relationship with Austin Theory, this is all in fun and they have that kind of trust. I hope that's the case. If it's not, there's a problem, but it's a problem between Keith Lee and Mia Yim and no one else. That's what I think for now. As far as photos in the workplace, especially a place where there's physical connection routinely, wrestling, obviously, and people who came up together, they probably worked in the indies together. They've probably known each other a while. Obviously they're in the performance center and working under the same umbrella. Big deal. It's until I hear something from Keith or Mia that it's a problem, big deal. As far as Mia herself, I've never really seen the appeal. I think she's an adequate worker, but nothing exciting. And I just think that Triple H is sort of righting what he perceives to be as some wrongs, but I don't think she adds a lot. So what will she be doing when and if she is released? I mean, probably debuting in AEW as the next game changer. But since she had plenty of opportunity to do so, maybe back in Impact, bring back the dollhouse for all I care.
Just let me just read this out before Vet jumps in. So this is Mia Yim's tweet for those that are just listening on audio from Mia Yim. Okay, block button ready to go. Apparently, I can't take a pic or get excited about seeing people I haven't seen in a while. I love my husband and only have eyes for him. Apologies for any disrespect. Men and women can be friends without being sexual. One of my very favorite tweets, Vet, was at Mia Yim, and I'm going to pull this up here. It says, and this is from the Pro Wrestling Reflection. Whoever, I don't know which one of the guys did it, tweeted this, but I think they're on point. Usually people who are guilty get upset or annoyed quickly. Guilt is a hell of a tell. Stop selling for the marks. You don't think the office sees these emotional tweets? Grow up, Mia. 3 minutes after this tweet, Mia Yim's account was suspended or taken down or whatever the hell she did to it. But your thoughts?
If I spent time thinking about this kind of stuff, I'd be a much more miserable person than I am.
I'm hurt and I'm old and I'm fucking tired and I work with fucking children.
So
what else you got?
This is not important to you.
No. Imagine how sad and starved we must be for news that we have to talk about Mia Yim's account. If I followed Mia Yim, I might give a fuck.
Oh, you just killed any conversation I was willing to have on this.
The problem is just she posted on social media, which is going to, expose it to hundreds of thousands of people, and you're going to get some percentage of negative response, of course, which sort of causes its own hurricane. If this was just her Facebook page or just among her friends and family, I'm sure nothing would ever be made of it at all. But because everybody has to live their entire life on social media, live by social media, die by social media, this was probably a mistake. I think it's harmless. I believe her when she says that her and Keith have a relationship based on trust, and he knows that she only has eyes for him. If it turns out that, in a couple of years that they're filing for divorce or whatever, we can look back on this and go, But I'm sort of like the Vet. I don't really care. This to me is just a fun little picture with friends. I don't
really
care.
Let me ask you a question. Can you? I don't know what your relationship is like with what's your wife? La Sacaria.
La Sicaria.
La Sacaria. Can you say it? Can you say it like that? La Sacaria.
La Sicaria.
I like that. I felt that in the cockles of my cock.
You're supposed to.
That's fine. Your wife would be cool with you taking a picture and posting it for everyone to see like that, even though I'm sure it was fine between those
right.
two. Yeah.
La Sicaria is not just a nickname. She's from South America. No, she would not be fine, but I wouldn't do it either.
My wife is not from South America, and she would hate it if I did that.
But Latina women. No, of course not. And I know the rules going in. Of course I wouldn't do that. But if she had a friend and she took that, I trust her. So that's the relationship that we have. I know that there are things that I can't do because she's jealous of me, which if anybody has seen her, and obviously you're seeing me, you would all realize the absurdity of it because she's like 100 times better looking than me. But yeah, I wouldn't do it, but that's my relationship. That's our rules.
I don't know. Maybe I'm raised a certain way where, if I'm married, I'm not going to be taking any pictures with another woman holding her like that unless it's a sister or a close relative. And if it's like even a close friend, it's like, maybe arm around the shoulder. I don't know if, resting her asshole on my cock is a good one, but that's just me, just putting it out there. But speaking of cocks, former chairman Vince McMahon is facing new legal demands from two women who allege sexually assaulted. So, Vet, I don't know if you've been hearing this. I don't know if you've been on the internet.
A little bit.
But allegedly, Vince McMahon was talking about how he feels that he's been given terrible advice and how he's hurt, he's old, and he works with fucking children or whatever the fuck he says. And he wants to come back and regain and retake his throne in the WWE.
And suddenly two more women surface.
Yeah, pal.
Only one more woman.
Well, whatever.
Listen, the news backstage is that nobody fucking wants this guy back.
Right.
Like nobody.
Right.
But what are the chances? Because now, and I'm glad we have Dr. Jeff on. because Vince does own majority stock in the company. He could technically remove the board himself, and if I'm right there, just name a new board, right? Can he bring in a whole new board that would kind of succumb to whatever the fuck he wants, and him come back? Like, what's going on, guys? What do you think?
Who are you asking?
I'm asking both.
Oh, you, Jeff.
Okay.
You speak to the logistics of this more than I can.
Okay, so they're deferring to me, and I think that people should know is that the Dr. Jeff Lippman thing is something that Jimmy made up. I do have a doctorate, but it's not a medical doctor, and I have a Juris Doctorate. I'm a lawyer, and I have been for 30 years. So we don't normally call ourselves doctor, but so that people understand why anyone's deferring to me on this when you have the two hosts that you've been tuning into for weeks and years and versus a stranger. So way back when this first started, I think the scenario that you laid out, Big Ray, was very possible. Vince is a bit of a narcissist. Now, listen, none of us are in the know, but here's what we do know. Vince was allowed to resign. I know allowed probably has air quotes around it, but not so much, because part of that was he forfeited some stock options that had not yet vested, quite a bit, not a lot to him, but quite a bit. For the rest of us, enough to retire upon. He also was allowed to resign. There was not a board action to force his termination. He did have an employment contract with the company as CEO, in addition to talent contract and all the benefits of being chairman of the board and all of that good stuff. He also did things and hid it from the company, the corporation, to sort of shoulder and absorb the liabilities. Now, people signed NDAs and they all got worked out, but they might not have. Until the moment that those people accepted the money and signed the NDAs, he was still withholding corporate liabilities, hostile workplace environment for himself and Laurinaitis, and all the other things that if your CEO is wrapped up in sex scandals could affect the stock price. So there's potential stock manipulation here. We're getting a little bit into the weeds. But when he left, he forfeited shares. He agreed to resign. He gave up certain things. There was sort of the Treaty of Stamford where Triple H came back. Stephanie, who was fired a couple months earlier, was brought back in. Nick Khan was allowed to say. What I'm saying is I guarantee you that they signed a document, that they signed a release, an NDA, if you will, but a more global release saying, I will leave. This is what I will do. I will pay back that $14.9 million that's not covered by insurance at a rate of $1.5 million a quarter or whatever it was. And he probably restricted himself, which is why he's saying I got bad advice from people I trust. Because it doesn't matter if you got bad advice from Kevin Dunn or his best friend. The people who he got bad advice from have to have undue influence on him. His immediate family, Linda, Stephanie, Jerry McDivitt, who might be thrown under the bus. And people are going to be surprised by that. But why? He can't help anyone now. He was already engaging in conflict of interest stuff when he was representing Vince and not WWE, when he's represented them both jointly before, without the informed consent of WWE, mind you, which is a big no-no. So he's got a lot of problems. So he may agree to bite the bullet on this one. Anyway, I actually don't think that Vince intends to come back. He may, part of him thinks he will, but I really think what he's trying to do is leverage some way to have that debt forgiveness, that $14.9 million, the amount he hasn't repaid, just forgiven. I think this is a bit of a leverage play, but I'm not surprised. Narcissists do narcissistic things.
Bet.
Well, I think he laid it out pretty brilliantly. That's why we wanted to have you on here. Also, because the other person wasn't able to make it. But
it sucks, man. I really wanted that person on.
Me too.
That person. Don't worry, that person is coming.
Yeah, well,
Be a better show.
Let's just say we're going to kick off the new year with a bang. But is it as simple as, Jeff, is it as simple as you step down, you don't get to do what you want anymore, and the people that are there are not going to let you? Because we all wanted this. And in fact, I conspiratory think that they facilitated all of this, whoever they may be.
What? You think Stephanie did it?
Well, not her by herself.
I think if you play the music for Succession, it would probably apply. It's just when the genesis of this plan came up. I mean, Vince did this mostly to himself.
And to other women, allegedly.
that that said,
And in front of
is
other
simple.
women.
Everyone all of a sudden thinks they know everything just because somebody's a majority shareholder. Nothing is that easy. And what Vince does know for sure is that if he causes a mess, it will tank the stock price. Everybody's belief that this company is going to be sold, which I've never really believed, at least not in the near term,
Me neither.
is he just put a giant cannonball through that if he's trying to come back. But this kind of litigation will be long, lengthy, messy, ugly, and the stock price, which is nearing like its 3-year highs, will go. Ooh. Well, where's most of his wealth? In his stock price. So nobody likes to make themselves poor.
Well, here's the funny thing. So just this morning, I was doing a little research on this, and I did see, and I should have fucking copied the numbers, but I do know for a fact. I know for a fact that the stocks have dropped. They've dropped all so far ever since the news of Vince McMahon coming back to the WWE, which I'm a Hall of Famer. I'm a Hall of Famer. And it has nothing to do with Russia or China. Apparently, the stock dropped. Not precipitously, but it dropped.
Just off this rumor, you mean?
Just off the fucking rumor. So, your thoughts on this, gentlemen?
I'm laughing, so you get my thoughts on it.
You like that? It makes you happy inside.
It's so funny because when I hear these things, I'm just like, this is probably just the grumblings of, just an old man that never wanted to leave. So he could just be saying out loud to someone, like, I never should have left, like something like that, and somebody like,
Damn it, pal.
oh yeah, I'm calling PW Insider. Like Vince said he never should have left. Like what is? And do you even need him to say that for you to tell one of these outlets that? So, I just find this whole thing amusing, but it's like people have short memories. They forget just how disgraceful this entire business was in the first place and what it would take to get Vince McMahon to agree to leave his company.
God damn, pal.
Like, who are you? What psychopath are you talking about? You know this guy. He was going to die there. How bad could it have been that he actually did it? He actually resigned. That's insane. That means it's way worse than any of you could ever imagine in your wildest dreams. And he knows that, and he's just like, all right. That is the only scenario. So I just sit back and laugh at this whole thing. But I don't know, Jeff. I mean, what do you think?
I think I've said probably enough. I mean, I could talk on this forever, but I don't know that I'm adding anything more to the conversation because a lot of it's speculation. I'm going largely on the presumption that the company acted like a company with corporate counsel and they didn't make an agreement on a handshake. If they made it on a handshake, well, shit, yeah, he's the majority stockholder. He could come in and say, I'm back, people. There could be a vote of no confidence, and then he'd disband the board and form a more popular board, and then there'd be former board member, there'd be injunctions, there'd be derivative suits, there'd be the SEC would probably reopen the investigation they closed. The Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, would start having her securities regulators in there. Ugh. Maybe Connecticut would too. I doubt it because they're in the bag. Who knows what would happen? It would be lots of cans of whoop ass, and nobody. It's terrible for the stock. So unless Vince wants to burn everything down behind him, the old thing about Cortez and the ships, which is not true, it's a myth. That would be Vince doing that, and he's not going to do that because, like I said, rich people do not voluntarily and recklessly make themselves poor knowingly. Even Elon Musk doing the stupid Twitter thing still didn't make himself poor.
Right.
Oh no.
Oh, I want to address this question that Aaron Benchel asked. Who in his right mind thinks WWE will be sold? I know. All of you. Every single one of you in the chat when the rumors were going on and you were saying, oh, yeah, Disney's going to buy them. Oh, yeah, no, Comcast's going to buy them. You all said that. Don't act like you didn't. I'm the only one who ever said, and maybe Jeff, that they were never going to sell.
I said they never were going to
Okay,
sell.
and Ray, but the three of us never said it, but all of you all said it. I remember. You can go back and look in the chat transcripts. Okay, they were all there. You all believed they would be sold. Okay, so that's the answer to your question.
And the media too. I hear it all the time. They said when the stock went up, it was after Triple H, it was based on a belief that the investment class thought that the company had a better chance of being sold now without Vince, which was laughable at that time as well.
Canada
Right.
Spaceman thinks that Disney will buy it. Whatever.
Aaron said he never said it. Okay, everybody except for us three and Aaron Ben Shlomo.
And if anyone would, it would probably be Comcast Universal, not Disney. But I mean,
And they wouldn't buy it. Why would they buy it? They could just rent it.
well, there's something to be said for both.
Yeah. So, what else you got, Ray?
Anyway, well, Vince McMahon.
What?
I love that one scene. Anyway, so you know what with Soundbite Vet I haven't played in a while, and I don't even know if I fucking have it anymore.
Oh, what is it?
You know the one you shouldn't have said it. I don't know what the fuck. This
What?
got buried.
You can't lose that one. That's the main one.
Yeah, but I don't know where it is. I have this one.
You can get rid of that.
What's that?
I say you can get rid of that. That's just a corny cliche bullshit one.
Yeah, I don't know where that one is. I don't think I have it here anymore.
Oh man,
That fucking sucks.
then you shouldn't have said it.
All right, I'm gonna need you to record
9
that.
days from tonight.
9 days
no,
from tonight.
no.
All right.
No, I'll just send you the clip again, and you can reclip it.
Oh, this one you talked about on Impact Attack.
And what do we got over
Oh yeah,
here? A cup of change.
Impact Attack every Monday night at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, 9:30 p.m. Eastern.
My heart is broken.
Channel that too.
But anyway, speaking of breaking hearts and breaking that bone between your nose, apparently Matt Riddle has been reportedly suspended by WWE for failing the company's wellness policy for a second time. Yes, we don't know about the first time, ladies and gentlemen. Now here's the deal with this whole thing. Matt Riddle, ever since I wonder if Matt Riddle, because he and Randy Orton had been getting very close.
Mm-hmm.
I'm starting to wonder if because Randy Orton also had these issues and problems when he was young and when he was getting the push and when he was doing prior and during the Evolution era and stuff like that. And he's learned a lot allegedly from his past issues. I wonder if he was keeping this kid sober, because you notice that ever since Randy Orton got hurt and went, this kid popped once, like not too long after Randy Orton, got hurt and left the company. And now this is allegedly the second pop. Now, for those people that are going to be like, oh, they popped him on weed. No, WWE does not test for marijuana anymore. So, with that being said, it's going to have to be something else. I don't think it's a PED. Allegedly, it may be cocaine. Allegedly. So, Doc, what do you think?
I've heard cocaine and MDMA.
Okay. So you heard the same shit.
I think that what you're saying makes sense, that Randy Orton, was probably playing some role in keeping him on the trail, but he didn't seem to have problems. And, his performance on TV has gotten notably less interesting. And part of that was the dynamic of RK Bros wasn't there, but also more meandering and more strange. Like, he was getting less entertaining and starting to get I just wanted him off. Some people have been crediting this, for worse, obviously, to his new relationship with an adult film star. Not just because you're an adult film star doesn't mean that you engage in drugs or you're a bad influence or anything like that. So, right, yeah. But stereotypes are stereotypes. Anyway, I don't know what's going on with Matt Riddle. All I know is that he ever since RKO's split, because, they didn't split. Ever since Randy was off TV, Matt has sort of been rudderless and getting less and less entertaining. And they haven't found, he had chemistry with Pete Dunne in that strange way with the Broserweights. He had a fabulous match with Timothy Thatcher in that Lion Cage match, Lion Pit match on NXT. He's a good worker. I find his act to be stale, and it just got staler. So I hope he gets better. He's a good talent. I don't see world champion there like a lot of people do, but I see someone who could have a nice 10, 15-year career, tag team, mid-card, interesting feuds. He's got that legit fight background. So I don't really want to speculate on how this happened. I just hope that he gets better and gets the help he needs and can come back. If not, I wish him well. What can you say?
Well, Vet, here's the problem, Vet. Apparently, and first and foremost, before I even say anything,
Then you shouldn't have said it.
Yeah. Oh man.
It's there. I found it. I had to bring it back up.
Okay.
2 strikes, 3 strikes, you're out in the WWE.
Really? Is that a rule? I don't think that's a rule.
It is a rule.
I'm pretty sure it's as many strikes as they allow you to have.
Gotcha. Say it again.
I said I'm pretty sure it's as many strikes as they allow you to have.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can.
I mean, Randy Orton would have been on like 29 strikes. You
Well,
know, back in those days you were talking about. So that's why it's so funny to think of Guardian Angel Randy Orton looking out for the young
Guardian Angel,
young Matt Riddle, who's almost 40. Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, you know, all I could say is, you know, get well soon, young Riddle.
Oh, you got, huh?
Really, yeah. That kind of is all I got because I don't know anything. None of us do, really.
Well, I heard some news today, guys, that you might be very, very interested. So, I don't think you can find this anywhere because I actually just heard this, and the person I heard this from is relatively, you know, in the know. So, look, it's no surprise. I have the picture behind me. We'll talk about it later on, but you know, we have a new NXT Women's Champion. Allegedly, I mean, I don't know if you heard this story. The reason why there is a new NXT champion is because there may be some video and or extremely salacious, should I say, salacious pictures of the former champion out there that are about to come out very, very soon. Which
well, you can pay for those on her personal site.
God damn it, pal. I don't know if these pictures are actually necessarily all in the sexual gimmick. Maybe she has a Hitler mustache, allegedly. I don't know for sure. Jeff, did you hear anything about this?
I did.
Oh, shit. See? This is why I have the doctor is here. Sorry, Jeff, I get excited.
That's
Hold
good.
on.
I'm glad.
Yes, boy!
We want excitement. Yeah, that's right. Side plate. Yeah, I think that the acceleration of this title match was rather abrupt, and that does explain it. I think that it's one thing in NXT on developmental. Mandy Rose has been killing it. A couple of years ago, I called her my break, on Hammerlock Hangover. I said, I know this is going to sound weird because she's 30, but I'm going to call her my breakout star of the year for the next year. And she was, and so she's been awesome. What's up, Todd Brantley? It's funny. I know some of your listeners, like I interacted with them regularly. I mean, some of them are our listeners.
They're all good people. Everybody here is fucking great.
Yeah. So
stay on topic, boys.
Everybody here gets.
Oh, Shuggy Duggy Quack Quack.
Anyway, Jeff, please continue.
Yeah. So listen, I think main roster, that's more palatable. Also with main roster, she gets more money, and they may, talk about her OnlyFans or whatever. And maybe they'll compensate her to not do that anymore. But she's been killing it. So, her and Toxic Attraction, they've been waiting for them. I figured it would be after New Year's Evil or whatever, Countdown or whatever the show is next. But yeah, I think the acceleration, it wasn't a ratings grab. Ain't nobody, I mean, all of wrestling is down in December, practically all the shows across the board. So yeah, I believe that where there's smoke, there's fire, so sure.
Veteran?
So I'm minding my own business in one of my Twitch streams, and then one of the viewers, the chatters, tells me, I forget which one it was, but he tells me, he's like, hey, Mandy Rose got this site where she'll rate your dick. Is that true? I'm like, what?
What?
So I'm just like, are you sure it's Mandy? It seems like she wouldn't risk anything since she's, with a major company. I don't think she would need to do anything like that. It's not like she's struggling to eat or anything. So anyway, I was like, it could just be somebody posing as her,
Did you send a picture?
No.
Oh.
So but the guy did look up the site, and he sent me he was like, I'll send you the link. I'm like, don't post a link in my chat. And then he kept like whining about it. So I was like, all right, fine, post the link. So he posted the link, and I clicked it, and sure enough, it's Mandy. It's like the real Mandy, and she had this website where it's like her own personal OnlyFans. That where she did this stuff, and I was just like, well, that's not a great idea, but whatever. And I went about with the rest of my life. And here we are today. Now you're telling me, I was thinking as I was watching this show, like, boy, this whole sudden title change and everything randomly on TV sure kind of felt flat.
It did. It was weird, right? It was so weird.
And Mandy didn't seem like she didn't have a boo-boo face on about something. So, it all just, doesn't everything come? Isn't it Booker T's brother Stevie Ray who always quotes the L. Fletcher Prouty, like there are no, nothing happens by accident. So, full circle.
So wait a second. So how do what's that link? I want to post it here.
I'm sure if you just search for her name, you'll find it.
What do I type? Mandy Rose rates your dick?
What's her real name? Like Sax or something like that?
Yeah.
SACC something?
It's actually a much longer name than that.
Yeah. She's not going to put her
window or something.
Can't find it. Yeah, I can't find it. Mandy Rose rates.
And that's and she's what's his name? Tino Sabatelli's meal ticket too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's this whole thing's just funny to me. But anyway, Ray, any more news on the 3 count while you handle your personal business on your own time?
No, apparently there was a chant of thank you, Mandy, when she lost the title.
That's nice.
Yesterday. That's
or she gave their dicks a high rating on her website. Maybe that's why they were chanting it.
Well, that's like the best part I have. That's it. That's all I got.
All right. Well, you want to?
Still works. Anyway.
Oh, you okay? All right.
I'm talking about my penis.
Okay. I see what you did there.
Like I would like to send it to her to see if she thinks it's at least a 7.
Okay. Before we move into deadline, Ray, can I just say one thing?
We're moving to deadline? Oh shit. Okay.
Well, did you have another story? I'm sorry.
No. That this is it. Yeah. This is what I have for the. Yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
I was watching NXT Level Up. Just to make sure there was no new talent that was coming up that I didn't have an eye on, and Sol Ruka had a match.
I saw the move.
You saw the move, right?
Move.
For the people that didn't see it, the only way I could describe it is I would call it a shooting star KO. She bounced off the second rope, did a shooting star, and caught some hapless chick in an RKO type.
I think I might be able to actually pull
it was like a reverse springboard cutter.
Yeah,
No,
but a shooting star.
Yeah,
it was a shooting star
impressive.
cutter.
It was very impressive.
And that's all she's she's got.
Anybody know where I can find that fucking video?
You talking about the Mandy one still, or you want
the Sol Ruka shit? Sol Ruka. What's
all
it?
over Twitter. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well, anyway.
It's a good visual, but it's one move in one match.
Yeah. Well, everybody saw it, so never mind. I thought I had a scoop. Never mind. Let's move on. Deadline. NXT deadline. Anyone?
Let's talk about deadline.
All right. Deadline. Do you have that breaking news music? That would go good with this, right?
Oh,
is that the Nightline song or
this
Dateline
is
or
this is I think this is ABC World News or whatever.
Oh,
here we go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, with your breaking news, you have the very well hung veteran. Take it away, vet.
All right, we're just going to go right into deadline coverage. They kicked off the show with a women's survivor match. Well, actually, they kicked it off with a nice intro package, but then they did the women's survivor match. As they were putting the rules on the screen, I noticed, and I was wondering if it was going to come into play later, that nowhere in any of that did it mention what would happen if everybody tied the number of falls. I mean, you would assume they would do like a sudden death type situation, but not only did they not mention it, even though that's something that could very easily happen in a situation like this, and they have no contingency for it apparently.
Commentary mentioned that it would be sudden death.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't even they wouldn't even actually use that as a finish for one of these matches.
I'm so sorry to interrupt you, but
I don't think you.
We have some more breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. We got the move.
I think we missed the move. Here we go.
What the fuck is that? Alawas, what a great ass.
As long as her opponent is willing to either be standing near or be getting up near the corner every time,
That's what I'm saying. Like
she'll hit it 100% of the time.
Can she hit that? Can she hit that from across the ring?
Yeah, probably.
This is hook disease. As long as somebody's in the right spot, Hook looks good.
Gosh,
Hey, you do not talk about Hook that way.
I just did.
No, you don't do it.
This is so Ruka. All right, nobody cares.
All right, yeah. What are we doing? Okay, so
deadline.
So yeah, deadline. Roxy and Zoe start the match. Then Kiana comes in. Then Cora Jade comes in. Then Indy comes in. So after one thing I noticed about this, you know what? Let me throw it to Jeff real quick first. Get your overall impressions of this weird match that they put together. Which I think, Ray, you and I agree that it's much more cumbersome to try to explain the match than to watch it. Watching it, it seems to make sense in the real time, but they really just, every time somebody tried to say the rules of the match, my eyes glazed over. So, but put on all kinds of socks. They just weren't fitting right. I had to keep trying different pairs, but Jeff, I mean,
hold on, while the person's describing, that's just like reaching over and just pulling a pair of socks out.
Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. Good visual. So Jeff, as you're watching this, like, did you find it like, oh yeah, it's fine. It's easy to follow here.
Yeah, I agree with what you said. Watching it was much easier than explaining the rules. But I had a feeling that would be the case, that once it played out, that retroactively the rules would start to make more sense. I did note that there was nothing about sudden death or what would happen in the event of a tie, because it was pretty clear that they were going to go by soccer or football rules, and that the scoring was going to be very low, at least in the women's match. So a tie seemed to me very likely. And 25 minutes always seemed like a short time for me. The booking in this was always critical because you really didn't have much in the way of veterans there. I mean, Zoe Stark was your most veteran worker in there. But I know you don't want to talk about the whole thing, so I'm just going to say overall, I really enjoyed. I was optimistic about the concept. We need new matches.
Me too.
I find modern war games to be pretty dull. How long it takes, that it doesn't count until everyone's in the ring.
I find old war games to be dull. I've always found war games to be dull.
No.
The only times war games were exciting is back in the 80s when you thought that shit was real, if you're a mark. If you're watching it with a critical eye now, every war games match fucking sucks. But anyway, continue.
Yeah, so this actually could have gone longer, but I think it worked out well. I thought it was a fun match, and I think everybody worked their ass off, and nobody got in the way. So I like it. I hope they expand on it. In my mind, I pictured sort of like the Elimination Chamber, that you'd have like 4 boxes. I think it was better that there's only 1 box because they could fight in the inside and things like that. So I actually, kudos to whoever came up with the concept, Sean, and the booking and the choreography, and kudos to the women and the men, because they're not all veterans, and that's an easy thing to make mistakes on a big stage, to make mistakes for those folks. And I think they all did well. It doesn't mean it was perfect, but I thought it was fresh, and I really enjoyed it, especially after watching a 3.5-hour Ring of Honor pay-per-view, which, not that it was bad, but it was just long, and there were a lot of matches on there that didn't need to be there and were not pay-per-view quality at all. So
right. Well, that show didn't need to exist. I mean, anyway, some people in the chat are saying that they did mention sudden death in the men's match, but
they did.
Yeah, Liz and Baba are saying that, but I wasn't listening to the commentary too closely, and they should have said it right at the top, because just because their men's are having, it's like, what, you didn't think of it until your show was almost over?
It wasn't listed, and didn't they show a graphic with all the rules, and they spent like a sweet,
and
like
I read the rules before I wrote this note down, make sure they didn't say sudden death or in the event of a tie or any of that language, but
because I was wondering that too. I was like, well, what if nobody gets a fall, or what if everybody gets a fall? What happens then?
Right.
Then it becomes a battle royal.
What if he shot you?
That'll be amazing.
What if he shot you in the face? Liz, what movie?
Liz, what movie?
What's I gonna say? So what'd you think, Ray? Same thing, like pretty exciting match, despite the rules explaining?
So I think, Jeff, you said it perfectly. Like, for the fact that this is, first and foremost, this is like let's see if this shit works match. That's how they booked it, number one. And I think it worked, because it is different, Jeff. It is different, Vet. It's something that we've never seen before. It did sound complicated. It's almost like the Bound for Glory fucking rules back in the day, where submissions 5 points, a fucking pinfalls 10 points, countouts 1 point. It's like, what the fuck? But no, it's simple. You know. Oh, you know what I loved about it? I said penalty box, and then Ben will jump in. He'd be like, "Oh, once you talk about penalty box, you're all fucked." No, I think the penalty box fucking worked. I think
just like it did in the King of the Mountain match.
I think that's a good Jeff Jarrett. I think the penalty box worked because, let's say in the future you have, it's all 2-2, and the guy or girl who's the favorite, there's like a minute and 40 seconds left, and he gets thrown in the penalty box. Like there's like intrigue. It's like, oh shit, is he gonna get out in time to get a pin?
Right.
I liked it, and I think all the girls, and Jeff, like you said, these are all kids in the ring basically, and I think they all did a really, really great job. Both matches. I actually did enjoy the women's a little more than the men's.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think I would love to see this on a major WWE pay-per-view, with people who know how to work.
Great.
Interesting. I mean, it'd be nice to let NXT have something though, because I think it works in a smaller venue better. You know what I mean? Like, I just feel like in a big 20,000 seat arena, people are going to be like, yeah. I don't think it'll be as exciting. It'll probably be still a little exciting. By the way, Frank and Liz both got it. It was Dumb and Dumber. Liz says her internet dropped. I have no reason to doubt her. She's pretty much gotten them all right anyway. So Frank just happened to scoop her this time because his internet was working. Good job, guys. Yeah, well, I'll just point out a couple little details that I noticed so I can be me.
Sure.
So the first time when Roxy got put in the penalty box and then she got out, she starts beating up Cora and Zoe. Like
right.
She just tears into them like a Tasmanian devil. And Kiana grabs Roxy and starts pulling her off. And I'm like, why? What's the psychology there? Let her beat them up. She's not going for a cover, so let her do the damage. So that's
because heels over strong, sir.
Oh, well, maybe the heels should think.
They're all bad girls, so they have to look out for each other, right? No?
Yeah. It's wrestling.
No, you're absolutely correct. I
Maybe
agree.
Kiana has invested money in the other two.
Oh,
women.
shit.
Oh, my God. She bought Zoe's knee braces and
she bought shares of racehorses. I mean, she's
speaking of which, Indy Hartwell is so bad.
You son of a bitch.
She is so fucking terrible. And like,
she sucks.
Whoever it was in the chat that said she'd been there a long time and needs to get called up, bro, she could spend the rest of her life in NXT and she won't ever get good enough to be with the best of the best. I mean, you seen Asuka and Rhea Ripley on Monday? Jesus Christ. That was a clinic. You think Indy Hartwell can hang with those two? Not for a second. She couldn't even hang in a tag team. Like first when she comes in with her little entrance flurry and she's just like, yeah. And then she suplexes Cora Jade on the outside, like on the mat, and she doesn't even have her parallel to the ring. So Cora's foot hits the apron when she gets suplexed over. Did you guys catch that or no?
Sure, why not?
Yeah. Let me tell you something.
At the time.
Yeah, that hurts. It hurts when your leg hits something you're not expecting it to hit in a suplex. So
it happened a couple of times during the match, by the way. I think one of the girls got shit canned through the ropes. That makes sense.
I mean, yeah. But like you guys says, exciting, good. The good finish. Like I like the finish. Yeah. It was, and everyone worked hard. Roxanne wins, and my note for that is fuck yeah.
That was good. Very,
all right,
good.
so next, Booker sells this. He's crying. They throw to Mackenzie with Paxum Tately and Ivy Nile. Mackenzie's wearing a dress that looks like it belongs on the end of Kit Nelton's shirt sleeves, and the K-Sounds come in, and civility and politeness ensue. As they work out a nice little challenge among the ladies. Junior arrives at the building. Then we get a package. And then we get Alba Fire versus Isla Dawn. Now, Ray, I'm going to let you go first, Ray, because No, don't leave. I want you to, to talk about this because, I mean, right off the bat, spoiler alert, your first grade teacher got handed a fat L here, so I would have thought you'd been in a better mood than this. But what do you have to...
She's still in the match.
Yeah, she's still in the match. So what do you have to say about this, if anything? You can pass to Jeff if you like.
Nah, I'll say that this is actually a really good match. And what made it better was Isla Dawn. Bro, I like Isla Dawn. I think she's everything that they wanted Alba Fire to be. Does that make sense?
She's everything that they wanted Sloane Jacobs to be. And then they canned her and got the real Sloane Jacobs.
Whoever it is, whoever she's supposed to be or whoever she's supposed to whatever, I think Isla Dawn's really fucking good. She's not only a good wrestler, like like her character. I know she's a fucking witch who does black magic and shit, and I sit back and I say, but is she a witch in real life? You know what I'm saying? So maybe I could see her being into the black magics or the dark magic. Anyway, I like her a lot, man. And the fact that she beat this fucking cunt made me so happy. Jeff,
who? Mia Yim? Mia Yim was in this match?
No, the other one, the stupid Mr. Abzdowski, my first grade teacher, who Jeff told me I would never become a paleontologist. She was right. She said I should have been a garbage man or a cop because I was, Puerto Rican and poor.
I believe in you. You can become a paleontologist if you want to. And speaking of things that have more to do with gardening,
look, Ray, we found Jeff Lippman.
Yeah. Not all witches are evil. Witchcraft is neither good nor evil. It depends how you use it. And while all Wicca are witches, not all witches are Wicca. So now that we have those things out of the way,
Sorry,
they were never in the way.
I heard people shit on this match. I loved this match.
Oh, it was a great match.
I fucking loved it. I fucking love Isla Dawn. Alba Fire, she's fine. I see what they see. She's a good worker, but frankly, she looks closer to 39 than 29. She seems like female John Moxley, straight ahead, 59. Ass kicker, whatever. Heel face probably doesn't change anything about her. But Isla Dawn, the way she moves, it's somewhere between feline, stripper, sacred, ritualistic dancing. I mean, but she owns that character at all times. Her facial expressions, her movements, everything she does is in character. It's amazing for someone so young. Like Rhea Ripley, when she does the bend over like Joker thing, when she's sort of does like the supervillain pose, like the Black Panther pose at the end of the ring, Isla does that naturally. And Rhea does it great too, but she wasn't always doing that great. Like it took her a while to find this. I don't know. I think Isla Dawn is amazing. I know that some people don't like character wrestling. They don't like supernatural. Shut up. And I thought it was a great match. I loved the ending. I love the fact that it was the same referee who was susceptible to the black mist before, and now he ingested it and it poisoned him. I think all of that was amazing.
That's what I was going to ask. When was that? It looked like they showed like when she grabbed him by the ankle. Did she stab him with a nail or something and got in his blood or what? What happened?
So the week before, do you remember when he was trying to break up?
Okay.
The fight and he got sprayed in the face by mistake.
Right.
Like Jeff just said. A week later, into a couple of days later, in the pay-per-view, so it seeped into his right.
It was a time release spell.
It's fine. It's fine. Brilliant. It's fine for a week, and then right at the exact moment, like what if Alba Fire had beat her like 30 seconds before that? Like those are the
probably
things.
Probably a triggering incantation or charm or something in her clothing, some herb or essence that triggered her.
I thought it was that moment where she was getting beat down and she grabbed him by the ankle and like sunk her nails into his leg. Like I thought that was which would have made more sense.
A good witch never reveals their tricks, but listen to the Garden of Doom interview with Madame X. We talk all about witchcraft, and so you'll understand it better.
Yes. You guys are looking too deep. I mean, it's
how many stars did Madame X give this match?
And I like them too. Authentic show with Mambo Brandy. You'll understand magic better.
Oh, how many stars? Right. Let's find out.
I wonder what the star rating will be. I haven't heard that
yet. Has anyone hit 8 yet? Are we 9? Is he into the 10s yet? That moron. Nobody cares.
I miss Jimmy.
I would give one critique of Isla.
What?
She has a She has a very high hairline, and
So
I think nothing really wrong, but there's a lot of real estate in between here. So I would bring her makeup even further up just so to cover some of that white
how about
forehead.
just bangs?
Or bangs, but I'm just saying, like, if she wants to pull her hair up in that top knot thing, that's fine. But just bring the makeup a little bit further, because it looks like she has no eyebrows.
To quote someone I know and respect, Isla Dawn is perfect. I have no notes.
All right. Well, we get Apollo Crews doing some Stevie Richards fitness, and then we get Mackenzie with the New Day backstage, and she does the thing. And then we get New Day versus Pretty Deadly.
Oh, man, great.
Yeah, Ray, you've already jumped in. What do you want to say about it?
I didn't expect it. And this is one of the things that I miss about pro wrestling, man. Like when you don't expect something to happen. You know, I mean, you go in, you're like, there's no way New Day's going to fucking win this title, this title. But then, I was listening to, what was it, Monday Locker Room? I think it was Ben who was saying that, this is a great way to be able to bring these guys into the main roster, where you have the New Day take those titles onto the main roster and have, Pretty Deadly chase them to the main roster, beat them on the main roster for the title, then go back down to NXT and then lose it, and then come back to continue their feud with the New Day, because they'll lose it on NXT because the New Day interferes or something like that, and they win it on the main roster through cheating or something like that. That's brilliant. Listen, we've been saying this for how long, that these two guys are ready to go. These two guys are prime time, bro. I will put these guys not on Raw. You got to put them on SmackDown. These guys are big time already. I think your teacher, Mr. Rip Rogers, says, or more or less, I'm going to paraphrase a whole bunch of what he said. You can, and I think Mikey said this last week. You can get a job being a good wrestler, but you can make a career and make a lot of money off of knowing how to work. You know what I'm saying? And being a character. So these two guys have everything. They don't have to gain any weight. They're both big, tall kids, good looking guys, can wrestle, can talk, can act. I absolutely love this match between the New Day and New Day, man. I understand they may be getting shat on because they went down to help. But what else right now? What's going on in the tag team division in WWE that you need to keep the New Day up there? These guys are going down there. I mean, let's think about this. Kofi Kingston is would you consider him a legend in the business by this point? He's won almost every fucking title out there. He's been around for decades. I just think it was great, man. I have nothing bad to say about this match, and I love the finish. I love everything about it, and it shocked me. I was happy. Doc?
I wasn't shocked because we've seen this before, where they've had a main roster person go down and get a title for a short amount of time, but I wasn't expecting it. I actually predicted the opposite. I wasn't sure who was going to interfere. After SmackDown, I was pretty certain that Imperium, which also has an NXT background, that they would interfere, and it would be shenanigans, and that Pretty Deadly would retain but not win. And so the Imperium New Day feud would continue. But I agree with what Ray said, which is sort of what Sean said. We want them down here, and they're great test drivers, like Dolph Ziggler. They're great gatekeepers, and AJ Styles, of who can work. Natty, who can work, who has potential in this business, who needs what, who has a future. So I think that's fine. I went into this match saying, great, it's the clown show. It's the good clowns versus the bad clowns. No, this match was fun. It was a lot of fun. One complaint, and this has nothing to do with this match, it's that weeks ago they put Lash Legend, who's insufferable by herself, with Pretty Deadly, who at the time I found insufferable. Together, they were absolute platinum gold. I love them together. Somehow it worked. And then they took her away from them, and now she's sort of in a feud with Indy Hartwell, or sort of with Elektra Lopez, and sort of just put her back with them. It worked. Who cares? She can take her time getting good. She's a big, tall woman. I understand why, with a big personality, I understand why you want to invest in her being a wrestler. But this is working now, so do something with it now. It's a terrific act. I mean, I know they're not supposed to be gay. They're supposed to be sort of flamboyant but straight. But like, every diva sort of has her maiden gaze. If you ever watched Bravo shows, and it's got that dynamic, and it just fucking works.
Yeah.
That's a great match, fun match. I have no problem with New Day. They made a big deal of now Kofi is the first Triple Crown winner in both tag team and world champion. So cool. And plus, I mean, this is the first time in like 5 years that we've had more than 4 viable tag teams on the main roster. They're investing in the Viking Raiders. They're investing in Imperium. They're investing in, you've got whoever Sami Zayn will ultimately tag with. The Brawling Brutes, Sheamus and Drew maybe. Who knows? There's a bunch of teams. The Hurt Business is probably going to reform. So New Day really doesn't have a place now. You don't want them losing. You brought the Good Brothers back. You have at some point, Judgment Day is going to have a point and goals, right? I mean, so at some point, someone's going to need to go for tag team. So yeah, let New Day be the teachers and the gatekeepers and have some titles and add that to their resume while there's not much. You don't want them taking L's, to up and comer team. So this is a great compromise. So win-win.
Hey Vet, how'd you like that spot, the Eddie Guerrero spot, where they were hot potatoing the belt? They were all acting like they got hit with the belt.
Oh, that was funny.
That was nice. What'd you think about it, buddy?
I know both these guys can do a lot better, and I wondered if that was maybe because they didn't want to try to take the shine off the gimmick matches or the title match or whatever and steal the show. They had a fine match, but like I said, New Day is one of the greatest tag teams. Any permutation of those 3 guys, right. And I know a lot of people are sick and tired of the act. Even though their act is constantly changing, it's not like they come out. It's not like you didn't know, like it's not the same exact shit every single time. They do have their catchphrase and whatever, but they can always find ways to be entertaining and different. So, right. But people tend to forget that originally, they were sort of despicable heels for the same reasons that people like them now. And that run that they had on their like history-making demolition record-beating run, some of the best tag team matches ever in history happened during that with a variety of teams and a variety of combinations of the 3 guys. So they're one of the greatest to ever do it. Pretty Deadly's pretty damn good for not having done it nearly as long. And so I know that they could put together, but this more seemed like exactly what you guys were saying, like the test driving, the gatekeeping, like what are these, like we want to bring out, how good are these guys really? Well, let's ask Kofi and Woods how good they really are. And you shouldn't need to, you should be able to see it with your own eyes, but maybe they just want to have it, like the proof of it. And so in that situation now, Pretty Deadly, they're going to defer to the New Day, whatever they want to do in the match. And if New Day doesn't want to have like like an all-time classic match and they just want to have a regular match, then that's what you got to do. You're just going to bite your tongue on whatever shit you want to get in. And they pulled it off and it was fine. And it was a fine match for the middle of the card, but I know they can do better.
Would you say they wrestled in reverence to the New Day?
In deference, you mean?
Reverence. In reverence, like kind of like they didn't want to disrespect the New Day. They didn't want to make mistakes around the New Day.
Something like that.
They were humbled for by being in the ring with the New Day, so they wrestled that way. They held back just a touch.
Something like that. And yeah, and right. As far as the outcome goes, it's like, come on, this is the New Day. They got to be able to beat somebody in this fucking world now. They used to be unbeatable for like a long ass time. So you can't just, and Pretty Deadly's won most of their matches by dubious means. So it's like, right. If you have a straight up match, you should lose, and that can set up a return. And if this is the main event of like a TV show down the line, or if they get more time, if at this New Year's Eve or whatever they want to set up a return, then maybe we can see what they can really do. But this was just like a sneak preview.
All right. What else we got? Because we only got Jeff for another 55 minutes.
Right. Well, we're not going to have a lot to say about the TV. So
okay.
K-Sounds with Odyssey in them. The sweater vest is back here, so we didn't actually have any effect whatsoever. It was just a coincidence, but nice try.
He walked around with it.
I'm just
He
saying.
didn't have it on. Did he have it on?
In
Or
this
he didn't have
one,
it on?
in this backstage thing, I don't remember, but they do run into Reptilian Britt Baker and Fat Ass White Giraffe. They fight with the Diamond Gals. The boys cop a lot of feels breaking this up. And then we get the men's Survivor. That's JD and Axiom start. Then Mello comes in. Then you can say this one, Ray, if you want. If I'm not boring you.
No, I'm just tired. Grayson Waller.
And then Joe Gacy comes in last, and then Grayson Waller wins. You guys already kind of touched on this match, talking about the women's match. I have nothing to say about it. I didn't really care. Is there any like little details or anything either you wanted to point out for this? Or
Ooh.
Okay,
I love when Grayson Waller came in and just got the 2 quick pins.
Okay.
I thought it was awesome because he's a fucking sniveling son of a bitch heel.
Right.
So that's what he would do. But go ahead, Jeff. I got to step away real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
Okay, go ahead.
I have 2 main points. One isn't even about the match directly, but before it, on the NXT before, when they had the Grayson Waller Effect show, which usually I dread, and they had all 4 guys out there, I did appreciate how they started talking about strategy and how they would employ strategy into which position, and it started to crystallize how the match may work for me, and that was very helpful. I thought that was a very valuable segment. The other thing I love is how Booker T on commentary, and he's not always really paying attention, and you can always tell because he'll say, well, that's what you got to do, and you got to go for the win, and you got to go for the brass ring, and that's not really what he was asked. But he kept pointing out how Axiom was doing stupid things. He wasn't trying to win the match, which is ironic because Axiom's supposed to be the smart guy. His character is basically a luchador who does math, and I don't really understand what that has to do with anything. Like
it's Russell Crowe under there.
Yeah, I mean, what are we going to have next? Gym class and band are going to be other characters. It's all like the elementary school curriculum is our NXT characters. Anyway, but then we realize why. Because Axiom doesn't really care about the match. He's freaking pissed at JD McDonough for trying to injure him and still trying to injure him, and he just wants revenge, which really is kind of stupid. But, I mean, Axiom, he's too new. He shouldn't win a match like this yet anyway, and this got him some. But I loved how Booker kept, this, what's his name? Vic Thomas? What's his name? Vic Joseph.
Vic
he
Joseph,
said, Mackenzie's husband. He said, what do you think about Axiom's methodical approach to the match? And Booker's like, methodical? What are you talking about? Nothing he's doing is making sense. He's not trying to score any pins. He's not trying to get anyone disqualified. He's not doing anything that makes sense. I'm paraphrasing, but good on you, Booker. You were 100% correct there. I really enjoy Booker. I just think that he's a shot of energy. And yes, he doesn't always pay attention. I think he'd be better on Raw, where we desperately need any kind of energy. But yeah, I enjoyed this match, and this one had more falls and more action than the women's match. More scoring. The Grayson Waller thing was interesting. I didn't expect Grayson Waller to win.
Who'd you pick to win?
I picked Carmelo to win. I thought that it's sort of his time. I think that he needs the big win, and win or lose a title match, he should be in the Rumble.
Was anybody shocked that JD didn't get any wins?
Shocked? No. I mean, they should make a bigger deal of it in story, like people mocking him for it, because he's supposed to be so smart and analytical that he's the only one who got shut out. They mentioned it a little bit on commentary last night. But I don't know. The women's division in NXT is an embarrassment of riches. The men's division in NXT is just a bit of an embarrassment.
Yeah. They're all in the chat. They're saying that Mandy Rose has been released. I did a quick Google and I couldn't find any confirmation on that, but
shit.
Maybe I don't know how to Google. So, you can check on that, Ray, if you want. Next, we get Mackenzie with Gulak, and then Damon Camp walks up.
Fightful has reported that.
Fightful has? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we know why then, I guess.
Oh shit.
Then we get the package. Then we get the main event of Apollo Crews versus Junior. So they kind of told a story in this match.
Shit.
Ray, what do you want to say?
No, it's everywhere now. No DQ, Wrestling Inc., Sean Ross Sapp, everybody who you would go to
this
look
is terrible.
up. Holy shit. Let me can I just read this really quickly?
Yeah,
sure.
It's well, you know, if any time I need to use this, it should be now, right?
Hit the music.
Hold on a second. We have some breaking news, ladies and gentlemen. I guess what I heard was correct. Mandy Rose with a Hitler mustache. I'm kidding. All right, let's see what it says here. It says Mandy Rose has been released by WWE. Sean Ross Sapp noted the reason for her release is because she put the company in a tough position by posting adult photos on her Brand Army account. Does that make sense? Rose was trending on Monday after someone posted photos and video clips on Twitter that showed her nude and semi-nude, but she's always done that. I don't understand. This would explain why Rose dropped the NXT title, blah, 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 blah. So that's why? Doesn't she always do that in her OnlyFans and that website she does?
I suppose.
Unless there's more to it.
This is a company that used to proudly have their stars in Playboy. Granted, they weren't publicly traded yet at the time, but still.
I would take this with a grain of salt. I think there's more to it.
I'd take it with a grain of salt, period. I mean, we know wrestling journalists, how often they get things wrong, so let's wait. But releases, usually they get right, but they got Sasha wrong. So let's see.
That breaks my soul a little bit because WWE's invested so much in Mandy Rose over the last 2 years or whatever, making her the longest reigning women's champion. I think she's been fantastic as champion. I was excited to see her go up to the main roster, or back to the main roster.
Don't assume it's not WWE trolling. It's not a storyline. I'm not saying it is, but maybe she's released.
Why would they do that?
She shows up in the Rumble to introduce her to the main roster.
No.
They wouldn't do that,
so, bro.
I do.
Yeah, it's kind of I think they really put way more of an emphasis on this type of stuff than the rest of the world does. Like, I think this is for the wrestling bubble. The fact that she has these websites with these pictures, I don't think there's really a like a serious problem like to have this kind of stuff that they would think it is. Like, they always seem to blow it way out of proportion. Most people don't even know this shit exists.
Nor would they care. They would care enough to maybe, pay a 1 monthly fee and then see all they need to see and then whatever. A naked chick is not that hard to find on the internet, guys.
Not a big deal.
And
I really don't.
Mandy Rose would be coveted.
And by that same token, I don't understand why you would even flirt with that if you're Mandy in the position you're in. Like, is this something you wanted? Is something you hoped would happen? Are you done wrestling? I don't really understand why people in these positions take the gambles they do sometimes, and for what. But
maybe she wanted out.
Well, that's why I just said that. But even that is still like a weird. All right, let's wrap this damn pay-per-view, and we can talk about Mandy when we get more info and facts, because this is breaking.
Yeah.
So like I was gonna say about Apollo and Junior. So what I noticed about this match is that they were trying to tell a story, and maybe they were trying to tell too much of a story. Like, for example, when the match comes to a screeching halt to get a close-up on Apollo Crews closing his eyes and opening his eyes back.
Stupid, bro. That was so dumb.
Oh, my God. Oh, man.
I was like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah, but essentially it was just a sort of a thing of like, oh, we're evenly matched. Oh, you can do this. Well, I can also do this. And, it just went back and forth like that until, boom, spear out of nowhere, flat finish.
Boom.
No one really cares.
Like John Madden there.
John Madden. Tough acting, Tenactin.
Boom.
Yeah. And then afterwards, Waller attacks Junior. So you're not high on Junior, Jeff. You've made that abundantly clear in all of your 63 podcasts. But did this match do anything for you? Are you high on Apollo? Like, where's your status with Apollo?
Let me clear things up. I just don't see superstar in Braun right now. I see what people see in him. I just don't think he's there yet. He just doesn't have a personality, and you don't need a personality if you have a spokesman. As far as Apollo, I mean, I think he's a lot like Braun. He sort of has all of the tools, But I think Apollo, unlike Braun, has a personality. He just doesn't quite know which personality he wants to be. But you're right. This match is the same guy. They're basically 1 inch apart. They're basically within 5 or 10 pounds of each other. They're both big, strong, athletic guys. One might be quicker, the other might be faster. Whatever. They're both straight ahead guys. But this is what they're doing with Braun. Braun and NXT, they're giving him different styles. They were giving JD McDonough, Dragunov, Tyler Bate, but also Duke Hudson. They wanted Von Wagner, the big guys. They wanted him to wrestle veterans like Cameron Grimes and Dolph Ziggler and Joe Gacy, sort of the indies, more reckless style. So these are all test matches for him. So Apollo was sort of like, well, what if you have someone that's exactly like you? What do you do? The match was fine. There was nothing special about it. There was nothing particularly offensive about it, except what you mentioned.
Except that thing, I was going to say.
Yeah, the vision. Especially since in prior NXTs, that vision left to Apollo holding the title high, and that didn't happen, which ruins the whole story that his visions always come true, unless he's going to turn heel. And if he turns heel, I could see him winning the title from Braun before Braun goes to the main roster in a few months, because Apollo's a perfectly serviceable champion. And he doesn't have to have it for a long time, but there's no shame in losing the NXT title to someone who's won the Intercontinental title, the US title, sort of been there, done that. What kind of
there's some shame in it because look, why this is not the old territory days where people only watch regional television. I'm tired of the thing of you have to do the honors before you're on the way out when you're on the same fucking channel as the other show.
Right.
If you leave NXT and you're a champion, you should just hand the belt over. You shouldn't be beating anybody that's supposed to make a splash in a debut. Like it's not that serious. We are not need to uphold these traditions anymore. So now I've had a theory, Jeff, that the reason that the people are not into Braun, just like the same way you probably feel, is because you're already telegraphing that this is the guy. You're telling them. You're not letting the people choose him. You're telling them this is the guy. As Ray's heard me say this for a number of weeks. What do you think of that theory?
I think there's something to that. Yeah, I think that's part of it. But also, I don't know. I feel like sort of, how AEW fans will say anything to defend AEW because they've invested so much emotionally in it. I feel like Braun Breaker is sort of the NXT equivalent for WWE NXT fans, that they've invested so much in. This is our young star, so he's great. Everything about him is great. I'm just looking at him objectively. He's got a lot of talent. He's got a good look. He's got a good build. But it's not like he's 6'4", 280. He's 6 foot even and probably 240, which is not a small guy. And I looked on the Baltimore Ravens site, not WWE, to confirm that it's at least accurate as of a couple of years ago when he was on the team to find his vitals. But he can get there. Scott Steiner was pretty boring until he went crazy, and then he was he's one of the most interesting characters in history. Rick Steiner was never, he was just sort of Eugene Crazy Eric Young. It's sort of a combination of those guys. He was never a personality guy, and you can still get over. But to be the flag bearer, the franchise, I think you have to have more of a personality than I'm a jock. I sort of always get what I want, and I'll fight anybody. Let's go, and then I fish and eat eggs.
Well, again, that would work if you didn't just push like a juggernaut right off the bat and make it obvious that he's Roman Reigns. Just let the people get behind him. They just screwed it up, and the fact that right out of the gate, Ray, they never called him a Steiner, so
that's why they fucked up immediately with him. But also, I would have went full-fledged fucking Big Papa Pump, like Jeff was saying, more or less. Like I'm the big booty daddy or whatever, the big booty nephew or whatever the fuck he wants to call himself. He's a fucking Steiner, dude. He should be a bad guy. And my God, while you guys are there, while you guys are talking, I'm like just trying to find more and more shit about this whole Mandy Rose story. But yeah, this shit blew up yesterday apparently with the leaked stuff. So I'm just trying to find these photos.
Well, obviously yesterday because they had to decide they were beating her.
Oh, now it's research.
Oh yeah, it's research. Yeah. Oh, here it is. I'm not going to show you guys because this is I'll just do some research here. Oh,
all right. Make sure that you wash your hands when you're finished with your research. I think we should probably move on to the main show, unless Ray, you had any comments on Apollo Crews versus Braun Breaker. I'll take that as a no. All right, so moving into the, do you want to hit the music for the NXT episode?
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for NXT. Yes, NXT was live on the USA Network this past Tuesday, 12/13/2022. That's September 13th, 2022. Vet, you know what to do, my brother. My God, these pictures are incredible.
Do you need to step out again and just hand this off to Jeff and myself?
No.
You need a minute.
You want to participate in the actual review, or should I just?
No, we could do the review. All right, let me just cool. Okay, go ahead. Go talk. Go.
So Roxy's in the ring, and she's immediately interrupted by Grayson Waller. Driving.
Grayson Waller.
he drives into the parking lot where all the magic happens in NXT.
Well, there's some magic happening, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, and he comes through the crowd talking shit. Then here comes Junior. And I was right at this point. I was like, I smell a mixed tag match. But little did I know, Mandy attacks and leaves Roxy laying there. And then we go to JD in the trainer's room. This is all like back to back rapid fire here.
Same.
The Creeds come in. And, after JD diagnoses himself to the doctor, then he tells the Creeds what's wrong with them, what's wrong with Julius. And they have some words there. And then we go back to the ring. Like, they cut this off. They're like, no, Roxy's talking. She's like, hey, I want my shot tonight, or whatever. So then it's time for Wes Lee's match. So he starts like walking to the ring, and then he gets jumped by Stax, and then they fight out into the ring, and then the match starts. And now we have Lee versus Stax here. And then
it's all over the place.
Yeah, just crazy. And then we go to a picture-in-picture at some point, I think, and then Wes Lee finally wins, and then Dijak comes out to do nothing. Because Tony D'Angelo blindsides Wes Lee. And that's like our basic first, couple of segments for the entire show right there. They just run it all together real quick. Ray, you wanted me to look at a swanton. So I went back and did that once my socks were on properly. He basically just leaped. He just leaped out and took a flipping bump to the concrete. Which
Jesus.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I thought he landed like first on the kid's neck.
I mean, he got him a little bit, but mostly he splatted.
Yeah.
I'll splat him.
Yeah, I'll splat him. Oh, we haven't got to Chase U yet. Hold on.
Oh, got it.
So yeah, that was a big chaotic thing. Jeff, do you like all the chaos that happens around the Performance Center, or do you think they could fucking calm it down a bit?
I thought the whole purpose of
Jeff, calm down, Jeff. Calm down.
God
Relax.
damn it, you're not the boss of me.
Oh shit!
I mean,
all right,
the whole
sorry.
point of Dijak bringing justice, I thought, was to patrol the NXT parking lot. I mean, that's where he could really, patrol and enforce some justice. I mean, I don't know. I don't miss the chaos, or I don't mind the chaos. Yeah, they could tone it down somewhat, but it's wrestling, and it's basically an homage to territory wrestling, and where you have the crazy stuff occur, backstage off, not in front of the live crowd, and then it plays out in the ring. That's fine. Roxy, God bless her, not a great talker, so thank God she was interrupted. Grayson's dick. Braun, just like his music, is...
Wait, Grayson's a dick or his dick?
Is a dick.
Oh, I think you said Grayson's dick. I'm like, what about it?
No. There's no. I don't know. Ask Mandy Rose. Maybe that's why she got released. Maybe she gave it a poor rating.
Low rating.
Boobies.
1.5 stars, Grayson.
Oh, okay. There you go.
Yeah.
I will say this, Jeff, though, just because you touched on it, but not the dick. But you said Roxy and her promos and stuff. I did think that her little back and forth with Grayson Waller here was the best she's sounded since she's been there. But she's working on it. She's working on it. Go ahead, continue.
You know, some people play off well, like Bailey played off very well with Michael Cole. Other times she did not so much. So this was fun. I actually thought the first hour writ large of NXT was pretty enjoyable. It's the second hour that things started to go up and down and fall apart for me. I want to tell the crowd, first of all, the listeners, I love NXT. I'm not saying all of it's great. I don't love all the characters. I don't love all the gimmicks. I know it's a gimmick Peachtree dish. Not all the wrestling is great, but I love what it's trying to do. I understand what it's trying to do. And I love how it's very simple wrestling booking and wrestling stories. It's like watching old, going from Florida Championship Wrestling to Continental to Mid-South. I recognize all the tropes and I appreciate and I miss them. And so it's right that it's an easily digestible show, even if I have to put up with things like Scripps and Duke Hudson.
Scripps.
and Jensen. Jesus Christ, how's that guy have a job?
Oh,
he's Bull Buchanan's son.
Still, I mean, Bull Buchanan, not exactly legend.
Oh, speak for yourself.
B squared? You don't talk about him.
Yeah.
Well, you said his name.
Yeah, you're right. So Ray, you're used to the chaos by now. So this is just another
regular Tuesday,
night.
brother.
Yeah.
Just another day in the sock drawer.
All right. Well, speaking of Duke Hudson, Andre Chase. We don't have any drops for Andre Chase, do we? Okay.
Do we?
We may have lost it. Do we delete that one too, or maybe just? I don't
fucking.
I'm trying to stall for
Did
time.
somebody say Andre Chase? No, no one said that. What we have right now is a teachable moment.
All right.
What the bleep is going on with this show?
So Andre asks Duke about what are you talking to Gulak for? Like a jealous. He's like, are you entering the transfer portal or whatever he said? And then he apologizes for not taking his advice about Thea and the match with Isla.
May I ask a question? Point of order. The transfer portal, is that how you transfer in online universities? Is that like an online university joke?
I assume so. I
don't know what a transfer portal is.
Yeah, obviously it's too inside for us.
I mean, in Star Trek, I know what it is. I just saw "Don't Worry, Darling." I know what it is there.
Yeah.
I think that's
anyway. Yeah. So an apology from Andre to Duke Hudson. Whatever you may have thought of Duke Hudson before, I think he's found a new life with this Andre Chase gimmick, and we'll only know once the eventual turn comes if it was worth a damn at all. But for now, it seems to be okay.
You know what's happening here, right?
What's happening, right?
Because Drew Gulak is supposed to be like a teacher too,
right? Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, hello, he's opening up his own university.
Competing university.
It's gonna be they're gonna do the whole college shit. Michigan against whoever, Ohio, or this and that, and this state against that state. That's what I think is gonna happen. Who?
He's got PowerPoint. He's gonna have recruiting trips where he does
right.
Yes, wrestlers and their parents.
Listen, if anybody owns a copy of WWE 2K22, you know that the tutorial is Drew Gulak teaching you how to wrestle.
Thing,
So I thought you never played that.
I've seen the tutorial though.
I just wish they would get rid of Duke Hudson already and replace him with Dak Draper, Kelly Kincaid's husband. I mean,
how dare you?
He's taller, he's bigger, he's in better shape, and Duke Hudson is.
And he's just as boring as Duke Hudson. Trust me, don't worry about it.
Team him with Braun Breaker, and give
he
him.
Doesn't. He doesn't have an accent. That's the thing. We need accents. That accents can make up for personality. Apparently,
Waller.
So, speeding through big chunks of this show, we got the K-Sounds come out for their little commentary gig, and then we get Paxum and Ivy versus Toxic Attraction. This lasts for a little while, and then it breaks down when Ivy gets tossed over the desk onto the champs. Yeah, that's pretty good. And then we get a little backstage with the Country Trio. Thinking Fallon Henley's dad might want to see that offer from Kiana now because the bar is having trouble. Ridge and Odyssey
causing
take
the
a walk.
trouble.
Was that
She
Jeff?
may have bought out the loan, and maybe she's causing the trouble.
I think
Right.
that's exactly what's happening.
By the way, I love everything about the Kiana James character and her assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Your assistant's freaking. You know she's an MMA fighter, right? Or was.
Yeah, but good God, I don't care about any of that.
Oh.
And I don't care if she's inappropriately young for me. Good God. She's an exception to all my rules.
I would like her to show me some of those jujitsu holds. Anyway, Trick and Mello.
I would like her to say this to me.
You're not going to fit in that hole.
I would rather fit into it.
Well, I mean, if that voice came out of that woman,
right.
then that I mean, of course, I still would, but it's definitely a higher hill to climb.
Oh, stop! You all know that if remember what's her name, the character that did the nanny,
Fran Drescher. Yeah, but that's a little different.
Come on, you telling me? You're harder.
Well, that's a gimmick, though.
Oh.
She doesn't have to talk like that. That was her
You don't
gimmick.
think she talks like that in real life?
That was her gimmick, bro.
Someone who looks like Assistant Gia, there's not a deal breaker on the voice.
Sure, not a deal breaker.
So it doesn't matter. You're good with that.
Essentially.
So her mouth, we're gonna have her mouth occupied during the time.
What if she sounds like Jeff Jarrett? I'm the Cow Mountain. Howdy.
Howdy,
folks.
To investigate how she got that voice compare with that the rest of her.
Oh, hold on. What if she sounds exactly like Jimmy T?
You know what? I decline to answer that.
What if she sounds just like you're boning her and you're hearing Jimmy T's voice?
On advice of counsel, I assert my Fifth Amendment right to remain silent.
All right, all right.
Let's
move along. Let's move it along.
Oh my God, you have a fucking dad. Why does it have a hole in the back? What?
Because she's copulating with my Danhausen plush bunny to make an army of demonic stuffed animals.
Oh,
all right,
geez.
you know what? Hold on, he's out. Hold on, how do I remove him? He's gone.
Okay, we just lost Jeff.
No, I took him out.
All right, so anyways, Trick and Mello look at a pic from Deadline of this is Mello gawking at one of Axiom's moves, I guess.
That was pretty funny too.
Great. Then we get the Ridge with Robert Stone in a tux for some reason versus Odyssey and friends.
He still has that harness. What is that harness for, Jeff? You're white. You should know.
Not that white.
Oh fuck.
One kind of white.
He's Latina by injection.
Well, speaking of white, Malik still got the folded sweater now. He's just gonna hold the folded sweater in his hand and just take it places and then set it down in the ring for
kind of white.
Yeah, for Von Wagner to almost grab.
I don't walk around with my father's pair of my old father's socks. I could. They're there in my mother's house.
Why? Oh, those weren't his socks earlier?
No.
Oh, those are your socks?
Oh, those are my socks. Why would I be sniffing my dad's socks? You fucking weirdo.
All right, so Odyssey Jones wins with the fat guy crossbody after the assist from Malik. Very good. Odyssey Jones. He's a superstar in the making.
He's lost some weight. I don't know if you noticed that.
Yeah, definitely noticed.
Well, when you go on
I hate Von Wagner, so good.
When you go on an Odyssey, there's a lot of walking. So he's probably going to lose the weight.
All right, we're done.
Oftentimes, isn't it, Chip?
We're done. Check, please.
Yeah. Mackenzie lets Big Body Javi know that she is rooting for Ike Manchero, like right off the bat.
Jeff, do you love this? Do you love their interactions? Because I do.
I do, and I don't like anything about Big Body Javi, but I do like this, and I like that Mackenzie has some personality. I mean, I know it's supposed to be a joke because he has nothing like a big body. But no, I mean, this is going to get old at some point, and he's going to be back to a zero. But yes, for
hold
now,
on. You're not a big body believer?
I am not.
Oh, you know what? As soon as that T-shirt comes out on WWEshot.com, just like you have it, I'm getting myself a big body believer.
You getting a $28.99 big body?
Fuck nice. Yeah, that guy. He's.
They're not even going to slightly lower the price because it's NXT and it's because it's Javier Bernal. They're still going to charge you the $28.99.
That guy is awesome. I love him. I really
All
do.
right.
I'm not even.
There's no big body bargains.
No, sorry, no. Now speaking of big bodies, Nikita Lyons TikTok. Any comments on that?
No.
Nope. Okay.
I don't use Chinese spyware.
Okay, Jero, but you watched it on the show. You didn't have to download an app. Did you just turn the channel or fast forward when that part was on?
I legit missed it, not on purpose. I was probably tweeting or something.
He covered his face.
Yeah, she did. She did her reactions to when the Zoe got pinned in the Iron Woman Survivor or whatever. But anyway, so now we get the match. It's Jiro versus Javi.
Love it.
Now, Jiro took there was a spot where Javi's like out there walking by the desk, and Jiro's supposed to jump over the ring and land on him. Much like the swanton from earlier that you had me look, Jiro barely touches him, and he basically, now if you heard the impact attack and you heard me describe was it Josh Alexander taking a bump over the top rope, it's basically like sitting down from 8 feet up, so your hips just slam right to the concrete from the top rope level. Well, that's kind of what Jiro did here. He took the 8-foot seat drop, so his hips are probably killing him right now. Maybe not as bad as Mandy's, but still pretty bad. And then we get a Scripps appearance.
Time out before that.
Okay.
Can I just say that my favorite part of this entire match, and this is a reason why I love Javier Bernardo. He's outside with Ikemen and Jiro. He's telling people in the front row, clear out, move. And you see like girls getting up and moving their chairs. You see people like, oh shit, he's gonna throw him and he just throws him into the ring.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Somehow I don't think that was his idea. So I want to know who's telling him to do this stuff.
Maybe it is his idea. Bro, that kid is talent. That kid has, I don't know, man.
Well, we don't have enough information to know if it's really him or if somebody's just. It's probably Terry Taylor.
Well, then maybe he's listening. Maybe isn't that good though, Vet?
I think it. Yeah, I mean, if he can pull it, he's pulling it off. It's working for me, but it only kind of works. I think, and Jeff, you probably kind of agree with this. Like, it works in this setting. If you're talking about territory wrestling, small, like that kind of thing, it's good for that. I just don't think it would be as over in a, in the bigger setting. But
no, well, listen. All three guys involved in this segment, not the three of us in this match and the aftermath, to me are zeros. So I don't really have anything to say about it. I don't give two damns about any of it.
Even though Scripps did not tie ribbons into his dreadlocks this week,
bro.
You know what? I wasn't paying. I failed you. I did not pay attention to that little detail. I'm just waiting for the Scripps thing to end and change, or for the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to attack him, or something. I'm waiting for something more interesting to happen with Scripps.
So, just don't hold your breath.
I got a question for you guys.
Axiom again. They can join. Their manager can be penmanship. I don't freaking know.
Oh, Axiom versus Scripps. Number one, that sounds awesome. Because
Earth Science, the principal can be the faction leader.
But the question I have for you,
they'll have a guidance counselor instead of Paul Heyman, the special counsel.
Is that's funny? Is were they trying to bring this guy in as a baby face?
Big lesbian, gym teacher. I don't know what they were trying to do with him. I don't know what they've ever.
Hold on. I didn't finish the question. Counsel, I object. And then, thank you, Your Honor. And then, they were like, "This is the absolute shits. People hate him. Let's just make him a bad guy." Is that what happened?
Probably, but in the first match, the interesting thing was he wrestled and looked a lot like a young buck. I mean, pigmentation aside. Since then, he's gotten worse. I don't know what I mean, I think that could have worked if they found a partner and they sort of did a young bucks kind of thing. Like Wesley they've got Nathan Frazier, they've got Axiom, they could try to replace MSK if they don't want to put Wesley in another team. But maybe I mean making him back, I guess just leaning into the booze, but I think the guy is unsalvageable. I mean, he's very smooth. He can do a lot of flips, and he's
just be Reggie. Just be Reggie. I don't understand.
What the hell was Reggie?
He's just Reggie. He's just a fucking fun-loving guy that does flips and shit.
You know what? I liked him as the sommelier with Carmella, who's actually trying to start her own wine brand. Our firm is actually doing the trademark for it. I liked it. I liked the sommelier thing.
It was still the shits, though. I mean, let's face it.
Well, you just don't love wine like that.
Reggie. Get Reggie. Make
You
Reggie
you should have been insulted by it. He doesn't know a shit about wine, you know. But anyway,
Carmella has 3 varietals, so.
So New Day walks to the ring, but before they get there, we have to learn of the origin story of Wendy's pajamas and her drink throwing.
Stupid, bro.
Yeah, this is terrible. I felt for her having to say this because I know she knows like this sucks. I know she knows that.
Number one, but let's just be real. Doesn't she do most of the fucking drink throwing in the face? That's what she's done. So now the story was
she's explaining why she does it.
Yeah, but it's stupid, bro. It makes no fucking sense. She's the one that does it first most of the time.
Yeah,
they left that part out, so now she's the bully. Is that what it is?
No, she's saying that because it got done to her, she uses that to humiliate people that are like the person that did it to her.
You know what?
Don't you know anything about supervillain origins?
And I work with fucking children.
Anyway, whatever. Who cares about this? Jeff, do
Can
you care
you be
about
a
this?
bully when you wear footsies?
I mean, yeah, no.
Like onesie pajamas. I'm just checking.
She's not a bully. She's a hero. She's the hero of the people that were picked on, and like Naps.
This was funny 3 times. 3 times expired about 7 months ago.
Ooh, I wonder if her naps are because she's always depressed.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. You know, this really does tie it all together. I'm glad we got this origin story.
She could use a script.
All right. So then we see Roxanne pacing as she gets ready to apparently referee a match because she's got the stripes on. And then New Day comes out for their celebration. And the best part of this is Booker grumbling in the background, like while they're.
That was funny. We got 16. He's wrong.
Yeah, just like the highlight. Even as good as the match was, the highlight of that tag team match from Deadline is when he says he's gonna whoop their ass if they come back to the commentary table again. Mm-hmm. Pretty Deadly interrupts. They say no boy. They debut the no boy. So I'm gonna need that for the board. Ray, make a note.
Yes, boy.
And then you need no boy. Got it.
Yeah, now we need no boy for everything that sucks. Like when we talk about that Wendy Chu bit earlier, then we can hit the no boy on it. You know, it's gonna come in real handy. I think it's gonna be one of those ones that keeps on paying off. So
I'll get a fee bet.
Thank you. The country duo come out and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Kit covers his ears. Elton looks nauseous. Not as nauseous as I was watching this. I didn't really buy muffins because I didn't think I'd need to eat enough of them, but I would be eating one right now if I had them. Do you guys agree that this was terrible?
Yes.
Considering the talent involved before the country guys showed up.
Yeah, I see something in Briggs. I see nothing in Jensen. I don't understand it. You remember Mindy's Muffins is closed Mondays and Tuesdays, so you couldn't have gotten the muffins anyway.
Not those ones. I would have got it just from some local grocery store.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, this was cringe.
Okay. Mandy does Stevie Richards Fitness. JD McDonough enters.
So sad about Mandy, man.
It's all right. She'll be all right.
But I might not.
Let's see. Indy Hartwell boots Carmen Sandiego out of the makeup chair. So I mean that's fun. Not really much to add there. Brutus enters, so now we get our match with JD McDonough. They just can't have entrances back to back, can they? They've got to stick, 2 or 3 things in between them. God, that reminds you of Mandy again, didn't it? I'm sorry. Brutus, guys, I figured something out here watching this. It was really right there all along, but I didn't notice, I guess. Brutus is just blatantly Donkey Kong.
Yes. You didn't know that? Donkey Kong Country, Donkey Kong, yes.
Yeah, he walks like he walked on his hands, right? Like a gorilla. And he does the thing where he like pounds them.
Yes.
It's like the ground pound that Donkey Kong, and then when he does that cannonball thing, it's like when Donkey Kong got shot out of a barrel in Donkey Kong Country. So he really is that is his wrestling idol, is DK.
Bro, that's serious. You just getting that now?
Well, I never heard you mention it.
I call them the Donkey Kong punches.
Yeah, but now he's doing the entire thing, not just the punches, everything.
He looks like Donkey Kong.
All right. Well, I never. Yeah, he does a little bit. A shaved Donkey Kong.
His head, everything, the way he walks, the way he everything. Anyway.
Right. Well, he was doing the gorilla walk on the knuckles.
Yeah, I hadn't seen him do that before.
I haven't seen him do that before.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You know what? The vet was putting on his socks.
No.
For the last
hey,
2
look.
years.
Jeff agrees he never did it.
Okay.
So into Cher appear out of nowhere to stop JD from using the chair. The timing on that was just, it's almost like this was a planned spot.
I love these guys. It's so funny. How do you not in the peripheral vision see a 600 pounds of Indian guys in dress clothes where one is like 6'10" and the other is 6'3"?
This is one of my bingo spots on my bingo card, which I still need one more thing to finish out the bingo card, but I'm still looking for it. But one of them is wrestlers only have the camera's field of vision. Yeah. Nobody in that room, everybody in that room saw those guys walk out several seconds beforehand, and then the announcers have to pretend like they don't see these two giant men walk by, and then be like, what are they doing here? Like, God damn it, would you please? So anyway.
Maniac.
Yeah, two devil insides, one in, one out for the win. All right, so JD's throwing around this guy. I guess that's fine. Diddy Kong's throwing around Donkey Kong. You know how that was the dynamic that they always had.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, but you know what? No time. Who cares? Mackenzie asked Zoe about a TikTok on her time, and Zoe's pissed. Like, you're asking me about TikToks on my time. So she cuts a promo, and that's fine. Valkyria is coming up next. Isla Dawn's going to call up some evil spirits to consume Alba Fire or something. I don't know, something like that. Cool. Sounds good. Mari Miller versus Lyra Valkyria, aka Aoife Valkyrie. So I'm familiar with Aoife Valkyrie because I watch NXT UK. She's got something. I don't know what it is, but she's got maybe it, I guess, because I can't.
Who is it?
Valkyria.
She absolutely has it.
She has it, right? There's something.
Something about her.
I can't say she's so great in the ring, and I can't say that her promos are awesome, and I can't even say she's a smoking hot chick, but she's got it. She makes me want to watch her.
The only thing, you know how you always mention remember with the Axiom thing where he moves fast? The clouds and the rain thing, that the graphics are kind of silly.
And it didn't look good, even if it wasn't silly. Like the way the digitization, like when she's making the entrance, it wasn't framed correctly. I didn't like it.
It looked like a mockery of something. Like, remember how graphics looked in the 90s?
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about, right? Like
yeah,
TV,
yes.
You know, before Terminator 2. That's what this was, and it was embarrassing. But she. Man, I'm glad you said that, Vet, because I was watching this and I was like, why am I so fucking taken aback by this woman? And she's got something there, brother. So I don't know what Jeff seems like he doesn't agree.
I'm not as enthusiastic as you all are, but the jury is out. I'm not sure that she has it, but I'm not sure she doesn't. I mean, she seemed like a pretty good worker. Her gimmick seems sort of overused. I know that she was using it for a while, but I mean, we have the Viking Raiders. I mean, we have we have a witch. We have Scarlet that's a quasi witch in WWE. So I don't know. I'll wait and see. I mean, but you're right. She isn't smoking hot. Her speaking abilities on the vignette were not particularly compelling. The vignette itself was not particularly compelling. She seems like a good worker, but I don't. But Isla Dawn, I saw, I'm like, this is awesome. I don't have that kind of feeling. I get more sort of like a Madcap Moss Elias, like, yeah, they can work. They're all right.
Were you familiar with her work overseas?
No, I think I've watched NXT UK twice in my life.
Yeah, she's not like some kind of longtime grizzled veteran or anything. So, but we'll see what they do. She's a little plainer too now in this debut than she has been in the past. So, I don't know, but we'll see. She's got something. But the debut went off without a hitch. No, major mistakes or ugly stuff from these.
She's kind of got a weird girl next door look about her. If that makes any sense. If she was
right. Yeah, she goes to the Renaissance Fair, and
right.
But they already have that. They've got Fallon Henley, they got Tatum Paxton. They have all these girls next door.
Don't you dare besmirch the name of Fallon Henley.
I'm not. I'm just saying that they've already got the girls next door.
Yeah, when people say
girl next door.
When people say the girl next door, what they're saying is, what they're really trying to say is, I'm not an obvious slut. Okay, so it's just, they're all pretty girls. That's why they got jobs.
No, they're saying real life pretty, like Pam from The Office. You could see seeing her in real life, and you go, that's a pretty woman. But
yeah, but
like, whoa, TV.
Yeah, but other women aren't CG. They're real women, sort of.
Right.
Mackenzie's with Axiom. He makes jokes about, looking in my eyes and see this smile and stuff like that. Yada, yada, yada. Duke Hudson enters the match. Brooks gets approached by Kiana. She gives him a dress shirt. The ladies are back to fighting, but who cares? Because now it's time for a match.
Jensen, the dumb one.
What?
This was Jensen, not Briggs. Jensen's the dumb one.
I said Brooks.
They're both the dumb ones.
But it's Briggs. It's not Brooks. Is his first name Brooks?
Yeah.
Oh,
Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. I know they're not worth remembering.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. The important thing is Kiana's trying to play him here, and the ladies are back to fighting. And like I said, who cares? Because we got a match. So Damon Kemp versus Duke Hudson.
Damon Kemp.
Yeah.
I don't get a chance to say that much.
Yeah, I was really hoping that we could.
He's my favorite wrestler.
All right. Thea's out here, and she's tremendous with the little bullhorn. Like whenever Damon Kemp comes close, and she like pokes it at him.
Love her.
She's absolutely great. Yeah, Gulak and Chase have words outsides, and then Hudson kick for the win here. Hudson hits the Hudson kick. Yeah. Any thoughts on this, Jeff? Good stuff, right? Best.
Duke Hudson finally win a match. I mean, Chase U, the thing. I mean, it's silly, but it sort of works. It almost works. It could be great.
It is great.
Sometimes it is great. And I'm not really a Damon Kemp guy. I don't know what to do with him ever since this Diamond Mine stuff fell apart. Yeah, no problem. It was fun. It was good.
Sometimes it is great. We call those times every Tuesday at 8 p.m. So.
I consider this a teachable moment. Thank you.
Yes, you're welcome. Roxy and Mandy walk, and then we get the match, actually. It doesn't, we don't have 3 vignettes in between. Now, for me, like, I really wanted to like this match, of course. But before you have to go, Jeff, any final thoughts on this this whole thing? I mean, we've already talked about why it felt the way it felt and why they did what they did and the other stuff, but anything about the actual match?
I thought the match was okay, but the ending shocked me. I mean, I thought the story was going to be Roxanne, had a great showing. She worked her ass off at this match. The veteran took advantage of the anxiousness of the young star who couldn't recover. She gave her all she could, but then she submitted to the move, and Mandy's reign would continue.
You thought the match was? Did you think the match was over when Mandy hit her finisher, her knee, her flying knee? I thought it was.
I thought it was with the LeVeL lock, and then I thought again with the knee. So yeah, twice I thought it was over. So I'm a big dummy.
No, you're not. It's what.
Only reason I didn't think it was over is because I already got it spoiled before I watched it. So
okay.
Well, the whole thing's shocking, but I guess if they were releasing her, that it makes sense. We already covered that. I'm still shocked, and I'm still a little bit I'm working through my 5 steps. I'm still in denial. I'm still saying it's a work, and they're going to bring her back in the Rumble. But in my heart, I know it's not, and my heart is a little bit broken.
Mine too, man. I'm like sad about it. Like,
yeah.
Because I just say real quick, when you invest so much time in something, and then you find something good in the time that you invested, and then that thing it gets flushed down the toilet, it bothers me. Yeah. Because we watch, me and Vet, we watch this shit. We've been doing this show for about 2 years now, and there's very few things, far and few between, things that he and I both enjoy. We enjoyed what's his name, the Italian guy,
Tony D'Angelo.
Tony D'Angelo, and they shit that. What else did we enjoy, Vet? We enjoyed Pretty Deadly, but they're going to be leaving soon. What else did we enjoy? Anything else that you could pick out that we enjoyed?
There was a couple of things. Probably 50% of them got screwed off.
But the entire 2 years of been doing this, Mandy Rose, I think you and I, Vet, can agree that's something that we really enjoy, and we why is she not on the main roster? Why is she not, WWE Women's Champion contending up there? She's gotten so much better than what she was when she was on the main roster at first. And now she's fucking gone.
Well, it's very heartbreaking, and you know who else is gone is Jeff Lippman. So thank you very much, Jeff, for coming with us. We'll wrap up the show. We know you got to go, so please tell the people where they can find more of you. And once again, thank you for coming on with us today.
No, thank you guys for inviting me anytime. I love NXT. I love talking about it. You can find me at Icarus Fell MD.
Sorry.
As far as wrestling, pretty much everything on the PWC I'm on, and a lot of those shows cross-pollinate with Channel Attitude and the Humming Media Group as well. My non-Jimmy T related wrestling podcast is Hammerlock Hangover with Big Daddy Cool Steve Pena, and my non-wrestling podcast is Garden of Views. The cousin show is Garden of Doom. The cousin show is Garden of Views. Garden of Doom is sort of cryptid, ufology, history, alternative history, theosophy, things that go bump in the night, a little bit of pop culture. Garden of Views is more topical, tends to be legal, and I have a little obsession with trying to extrapolate the laws of Earth and try to figure out what's going to be the laws of space. Funny thing is that podcast got me a gig as being the special advisor to the board of directors of the Space Corps Foundation. So that's pretty cool. Anyway, please check out that shows. You can find them on the PWC. You can find some of them on Hameen Media Group, Wrestling Soup Network, PW Hustle. I don't want to, but especially here, pay attention to what's on the Hameen Media Group, of course, because that's the network we're on right now. Yalla. Thank you for the opportunity. I appreciate it so much.
Right,
Jeff, can you stay on another 30 minutes with us?
Oh, no, you really can't.
Jeff, thank you so much. Look, I've been wanting to work with Jeff for a long time. So I would love it, Jeff, if you can come back on when you have some time, bro. Seriously.
You invite me, I'll do my best to make it happen.
All right.
Is that a yes or no? What the fuck, man?
It's definitely made. It's a yes in principle.
Next time you have to bring La Sacaria on just to say hi.
Oh my god!
And but have her just come and be like, "Hey, Jimmy," and she thinks it's Jimmy.
She'll know the difference between you and Jimmy. She's La Sacaria has very good eyesight. You understand? Long range eyesight as well.
You are the fucking man, dude. You're way too smart for me. So I appreciate you. I mean that, man. You're awesome, bro. Thank you, man.
I respect both you guys a ton. I find you incredibly entertaining. Thank you again. It's been a privilege and an honor. Thank you.
All right. Take it
Love
easy,
you,
man.
brother.
Bye-bye.
Peace out, man.
Bye-bye.
And the doctor is gone.
Yeah. Do you see how he was about to say we're enjoyable, then he cut himself off and said entertaining? That's too bad.
He said, "You guys are really good."
Yeah. Well, you guys are there. All right.
You're both very nice.
All right. All right. Well, so once again, thanks to Jeff.
Jeff is awesome.
Before we say goodbye, Ray, let's talk about the match a little bit more.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Do you feel a little dumber when Jeff is on screen with you?
No.
I do.
No, absolutely.
I'm not too smart.
Yeah. He knows stuff like knowledge, but his intelligence does not intimidate me.
I think somebody just found out right now.
Yohimbo just now. That's the problem with jumping in late. You never know what you're gonna miss.
Oh my god! And Javi Uchiha.
Yep. Yeah.
Let's talk about the match, brother.
Yeah, let's talk about the match. So I don't know about you, Ray, but to me, when I was watching this, of course I wanted to like it. No matter what the finish, the outcome was. Usually when I sit down to watch Roxanne, it's like, when you've just eaten junk food all week, but then you finally get a nice, a steak with the steamed vegetables and the mashed potato, just like, okay, let me just enjoy this. I don't have to be anywhere. I can take my time. I can relax, That's usually what it's like. Not so much this time for me, sadly. It felt like she was, and again, now things are making more sense now.
Right. It seemed
but
rushed
at the time,
right?
Yeah, at the time actually, the whole thing seemed rushed. Like there was no, big Mandy promo or anything like that. There was just, it seems like, why is this happening now? But the match itself, it seemed like, Roxy seemed like a half step slow.
She did. There were a couple of spinning back kicks that looked odd or off.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And Mandy was a step behind that. So she's probably her head was probably fucked the entire time.
Do you think there's a possibility, number one, with Roxy being so young, and let's be real, Roxy's come on. Well, how long has she been there? Not even a year yet, right?
Not even a year.
So her entire time in WWE developmental, she's probably worked with Mandy Rose. Mandy Rose has probably helped her out a bunch. Maybe this was really an emotional time for both of these girls to be in the ring because they both knew what was happening. So,
maybe, but you can't. I mean, that being said, you can't do that, man. You know,
I get you.
You've got to, you know, if you've got to go out just as strong as your strongest night, you know what I mean? Because that's the last time they're going to see you. So you want to leave an impression like, damn, did we make a mistake releasing her? Or whatever the case. But it's not always up to you, you know? You probably don't feel like, you probably, when you're out there in the middle of it, you don't feel how bad you're doing at the moment.
Can I just say, man, I know you think I'm overstating it or maybe just being in character, but I am legit sad about this. Like, I feel sad, like I lost a friend or something like that. I just hope that whatever the fuck, like if they released her for sticking a dildo in her ass or getting banged out or, you know, come on her face or whatever the fuck, or
for all the stuff that Vince McMahon had people sign NDAs for.
Right. It's like, no, but I'm saying like if it's just something she put out there on her personal website and shit, as long as it wasn't anything where she's wearing like a Hitler mustache or she's like, yeah, I don't like black people or something stupid like that, I don't see why they needed to release her. I really don't. Like, people have sex, people fuck, you know, people fuck. People get naked. She's gorgeous. She's beautiful. I think she has the right to go out and make her own money on the side. And I'm sure it's very popular. And it bothers me a lot. I want to do research and find out what exactly, not that type of research, you fucking
really?
weirdo.
Oh yeah, I'm weird. I'm not the one that halted the show to look it up.
What?
Yeah.
No,
so.
but do you understand where I'm coming from though, man?
Sort of. I just don't agree. Like, as much as I enjoy Mandy Rose.
Look at Elizabeth. Hold on. Elizabeth's like, am I the only one who's like, meh, Mandy's gone? Yes,
no,
you are the only one. God damn it.
Yeah, not really. Because the thing is, like, I enjoy Mandy Rose while she was there. I liked what she did. Obviously, she's a beautiful young lady. But she really worked hard at the job. She had to put up with a lot of shit.
She showed like she cared.
Yeah, she had to put up with a lot of shit, and she could have, you know, gone the Mia Yim route and been on social media complaining all the time, but instead she did everything with a smile. She went through that stupid Otis gimmick and all the other stuff, and they actually became shoot friends out of something that was supposed to be a rib, so they took her off TV and sent her down to NXT because she wasn't selling for it. You know, like, so, you know, I feel for her in that way, and then for it all to end like this, you know, that is unfortunate. I do feel that that's unfortunate. However, number one, no one asked her to make this fucking website.
I know, but who doesn't have the right to fucking, if you have something beautiful like her body and she wants to make money off of it, why not, dude? Bet. I get it. I understand she's in the business of wrestling and all that shit.
Wait till you're done.
That should be.
You don't need, what do you mean make money? She's making money. Normally you would say
More
that
money.
about people that have no job. There are people whose job it is to be naked on the internet. And she is not one of those people. She decided to do that extracurricularly on her own. So I don't have sympathy for her bad business decision if the other company is like, for whatever reason. And maybe it's not only that reason. Like you said, there could be some other things about this that we don't know that's behind the scenes. And that's probably more likely the case because she's had this thing, you know, that story I told about someone coming to my Twitch and saying, hey, you know, Mandy Rose has her own site where she rates guys' dicks. That was weeks and weeks ago. So it's not like, do you really think they only just found out about it? It's got to be something besides that. Anyway, that's number one. Number two, you know, Mandy's gone. Next man up. She won't be missed particularly. Yeah, it's a shame that she worked hard and did a lot of cool stuff, but someone else is going to come along and do a lot of cool stuff. It's not like Mandy Rose was such a trailblazing individual that the wrestling business won't be the same.
I know. I don't know. I'm still I still feel down about it. Like I just something. She's one of the few things
You'll be all right, Ray. You'll be all right by this later this evening.
You know,
Trust
again,
me.
she's one of the very few things that I enjoyed watching on a weekly basis in wrestling.
And guess what else?
What?
Now that website certainly ain't going nowhere.
I'm not gonna. I mean, come on. I don't know. All right, it is
You
what
got
it is.
research. You got research.
It is what it is, man. Mandy Rose, thank you for being one of the most awesome things on WWE TV and one of my favorite characters. And thank you for all the hard work you've put in to make yourself an important character, and all the work she's put in to make herself better in the ring. And just like you said, dealing with all the shit from that Otis shit down, you know, and then she went to NXT. Mandy Rose goes to NXT. Oh God, Mandy Rose is in NXT. She becomes the most important person in NXT. And then she actually elevates 2 other young girls underneath her wing. So Toxic Attraction should be sucking her twat for what she's done for them. Period. They'll live on. They'll be fine. You know?
Well, they'll both get released and then have their own websites.
I'm hot.
I'm sure they could dig up some stuff on Gigi if they wanted to. It's out there.
Fuck this shit.
Remember, she's the tampon girl, so.
Anyway. Are we going home?
Let's go.
All right. Well, there's been one hell of a show.
Go home music.
You want me to do the sad go home music? Fine. Oh, vet. Well, thank you for bringing on Jeff Lippman, the doctor, attorney at law. Is that what you say? Attorney at law.
I had him jump the line in my guest list because I knew that he had watched Deadline and he would be watching NXT and he'd be the perfect person to come on and be able to talk about it with us. Unfortunately, because of time constraints, we didn't get as deep as even we could have.
Right. That's
I'm sorry for saying, I'm sorry for reminding you of Mandy again, but yeah.
Can you stooge off who we might have on next week?
Well, I haven't asked anybody yet, but I have some people in my guest list that I think the Hameen Media Group people know very well. Maybe his name is not Timmy Maryland, but
oh, that'll be great.
We'll see. We'll see.
I have the
No
better half.
promises.
I have the better half of Noel and Vito coming on.
Oh, that's a good one too. We're gonna take care of you throughout the rest of 2022, and then I've already
Aaron Benchlim, Jason Alexander.
Jason Alexander. Yep, that's it.
him. That's the guy's
George
coming on.
Costanza.
A whole hour of him. Oof.
Yeah. And then, but I've already made the plans on January 4th when I should be watching Wrestle Kingdom. I'll be here with you guys, and I will be with hopefully our guest, as long as nothing crazy happens. So we're going to kick off 2023 just right, and I'm excited for this to happen. So
What day is Wrestle Kingdom on?
January 4th.
What day is that? I know.
Well, technically it's a Wednesday because over there it's like, like midnight, 1 a.m. here or whatever.
Shit,
I won't even have time to watch it. I'm going to have to be at work, and then I'm going to have to just come straight home and do the show with you. I won't even have time to catch up with Wrestle Kingdom. So no spoilers on the 4th in the chat, please.
It's pretty hard. Nobody's gonna be watching anyway.
Oh, good.
All right. Well, listen, man. Anything else you want to put over before I
Yes.
What?
Yes. Of course, all my usual stuff you guys know. At Opinion Haver everywhere. If you just type that in, you'll find me a bunch of places. Twitch.tv/Opinion Haver. And you can find me on the Impact Attack every Monday. You can find me on the XL Restaurant Review because you're here right now listening. Last week we had a great episode with Mike Mondo, 3-hour classic. That episode is going to remain available on YouTube forever because we want people to be able to look at that at any time and say, hey, I'm going to sign up for the boot camp. If he can do this for these NXT TV stars, what can he do for me? So he's going to be able to use that. So that's up there. If you missed it, go ahead and click on the Hami Media Group channel and watch that. Right now, StevieRichardsFitness.com is having a sale for the holidays. Look, we're all fat because Thanksgiving and Christmas and all this other stuff. And so we're going to need to do something about that. So for a limited time, all Stevie's, his 12-week program, his 16-week program, all that stuff is 66% off. So it's like $9.99, I think, for these programs. So you definitely want to at least give it a look and debate on whether you want to sign up for the Stevie Richards Fitness 12-week, 16-week program, whatever else he's got going on there. Check out StevieRichardsFitness.com. He's got that going on. And, just stop by Rip Rogers, Wrestling with Rip Rogers, on YouTube. Sign up, subscribe to that, hit the like button. You never know who's going to pop on there. Mike Mondo was on there this past live Q&A on Fridays, and you might even see the vet on there sometimes. You never know if Von Lila sends me a link. So, I think that's just about everything for me.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, today, head over to the A Show over on Twitch. It's twitch.tv/the A Show, and on YouTube, if I'm correct, it's youtube.com/at the A Show, or just type in the A Show at April Hunter. Subscribe there, please. Come join us at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll read this out there. This is the A Show with April Hunter, 12/14/2022. The Twitter Files, Part 2. And I'll read this really quickly. We are excited to welcome our friend, the host of the Infinite Fringe and America Unplugged, the great Billy Ray Valentine, to the show. Elon Musk is back with the Twitter attack, with another Twitter attack. Did you know that Elon's pronouns are prosecute Fauci? We deep dive the Twitter Files, but that's not all, ladies and gentlemen. We talk about the worst NBA trade of all time. We talk about clean blood banks. What the hell is a clean blood bank? Did you ever have deja vu? We deep dive that as well. And we go on with some jerk off from the Biden administration who dressed like a woman and steals people's luggage. A whole bunch of cool shit. We're going to have some fun, and we're going to try to plan out on air our Festivus celebration. Yes, which should be taking place a week before Christmas. So yes, Festivus for the rest of us. You can find me on social media, as you can see down there, at Big Ray Hernandez on all social media except TikTok. I stopped doing TikTok because I've been doing research on TikTok, and I'm scared of TikTok now. So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, why are you rolling your eyes, Vet? Why the fuck do you roll your eyes?
It's too late.
Hey,
they got what they wanted out of you, so you might as well keep doing it.
By the way, if anybody is looking to get themselves a MacBook and you can't find it on the Apple Store, you go to B&H. They didn't pay me for that, but they saved my son's Christmas. Seriously. I could not. I wanted to order a MacBook M2, the Air gimmick, and you can't find it anywhere. And you can get it on the Apple Store, but it'll come after Christmas and shit, so it didn't work. But there's a local store here in New York City that they fucking deliver everywhere. Yeah. It's called B&E.
I got a TV from them.
They're awesome, bro. They are fantastic, dependable. I got it at a discount price, a brand new one. And maybe I can do some. Maybe I can call them and be like, look, guys, we're putting you guys over. Maybe you can throw us a couple of dollars here. Maybe Vet could buy a brand new sweater from Chase University. Maybe the Drew Gulak University, wherever the hell he's gonna call that.
That's a good university.
Yeah, but seriously, man, B&H is awesome. So I just got to give them a shout out. They really helped me out, man. It was phenomenal. And
Mandy's going to probably want to. She's probably going to want to stop by there and upgrade her gear now that she's got more time on her hands.
She probably want to get a job there. But anywho, all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I always say I would do this for a living, but if I couldn't, I'd do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling, and I would love you guys. Listen, a lot of you guys, I know it's hard for you guys to jump back on and stuff like that, but if you're not doing anything, please head over to at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's in 2.5 hours. Jump back on. Check us out, man. It's a really fucking good show. I would love to see Aaron Bench, Shlomo, Franks, Pickle Barras, Elizabeth, all you guys, Lab Rat, Media M5, Sergio. I didn't give a shout out to Sergio. He's in the house.
He was too late to get a shout out.
He was too out. Canada Space. All you guys, I love you. I appreciate you all. Please come by and join us and support us over at the A Show with April Hunter. And I guess with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, in the words of the great Bill Apter,
We'll see you at the matches.
We'll see you next week, ladies and gentlemen. Peace out, yo. Say bye, Vet.
Goodbye, everyone.
So you
Mandy.
get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Yeah, pal.
And what we got with a cup of potatoes. A cup of potatoes.
Cole, you know the thing.